Hello, everybody, and welcome back to SOS Season 3, Episode 4. I am here with my three wonderful players, Dot, Bub, and Tracy. Hello. Hey, guys. Welcome back.
Hello.
Everybody in costume again, looking clean and sharp as
back.
always. The
Dakota's
coteries
rocking
together.
glasses because Dot's old. Not a 16-year-old girl.
What?
Yeah,
Forever
right. At heart,
16.
baby, at heart.
Yeah, exactly. I'm super excited for today, as always. I had last episode was super fun, and Dot did not go back and watch it, so she is completely blind as to the activities that occurred. There was one. I mean, there's really I can only really think of one that'll like make Dot really upset. Like not Dot, but Dakota rather, really upset about. And not for anything you guys did, just because of the event. But I'm excited to see her reaction to information learned. And two events technically. Anyway, but before we get into game, before we do any of that, I just have to thank you guys out there in the Twitch world, in the YouTube worlds, in the Patreon world. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. Every single time we've done a stream of SOS, it's been crazy support. Every time we get a ton of subs and tips and bits, and it's just the love keeps coming, and we see it, we recognize it, and we feel it. Thank you guys again. We love this show as much as you love this show, so we very much appreciate the support. Everything on Twitch that you throw at us, subs, bits, donations, all goes towards this show for art and music and paying our cast and all that stuff just to keep it rolling. But if you want to support all of our works, no matter what show we're doing, you can do that on patreon.com/podbynight. That goes to all of the Pod by Night projects, all of the Pod by Night shows. We got our 4th season of a vampire show. We had a little hunter show. We had a little Anarch show. Werewolf is on the way, so you know we're going to see that. There's a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline for Pod by Night. We're only just kind of get bigger and bigger so long as the support keeps pouring in. And you know, when all is said and done, whenever that may be for this stream, don't worry, there will be a Saturday stream for Pod by Night moving forward for as long as we can see it. So there will always be a mainstream show, whether it's SOS or something Pod by Night. We see the love, we see that you guys enjoy it. So we're gonna do this, for as long as we possibly can. So be excited. Every Saturday you will see us here. If you want to support us, like I said, patreon.com/podbynight, but you can even just go to the Discord. It's free. You can jump in, you become part of the community. We have like 200 or 300
Actually, I think we're closer to 600.
It's always going.
What?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I was about to say. I think
do
we're
I
closer
look?
to like 500 or 600 people.
That's insane. I don't even know how to look. That's crazy. Well, there's a ton of people who love the shit that we do is basically the point. So go join. It's totally free. And if you are part of the Patreon, you get access to a little secret room. You also get a special color to your name. Are we doing anything for Twitch subs on Discord yet?
Yeah, we haven't
like,
really thought about it. Maybe, we need to think of a cool name because we used all of the usual vampire names for our Patreon. So we have to think of something cool for our Twitch subscribers. So yeah, we'll think about that. I mean, let's be honest, just sub itself is very vampire. So.
I mean, you're very true. Yeah. Especially if you're running with Brett. Just call them the fry cooks. They're all fry cooks. Burger flippers. Mathis is lagging. Am I lagging? Am I
not to
off?
me? You're not.
I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah,
on
there
Twitch,
seems
but,
to. If there's tech issues, sorry, everybody. You know what? We're doing
working
the best
on
we
it.
can. Yeah.
It's been crazy. But yeah, join the Discord. It's totally free. We're all in there, all to various degrees of interaction. And Ava and aka Tracy dropped the Ava art that she had done for her character, and it looks freaking cool as shit. And we have a new Kirk
and
piece
a new Ava.
We
got double
that.
Ava art.
Hang on, let me. I can show that. I can show that. How do I do that? I can do that.
I mean,
you
just have you can just open it with OBS and like add image file.
That's
and
what we're gonna do. Gotta find it in all of the files. We got it. I got it. Here it comes. Everybody, hold your breath. Here we go. Drum roll, please.
I'm ready.
I'll react-collate.
That's what you get. That's the best you get, madam.
There it is.
Stream.
Hey, there's Ava. God, she looks fucking
So
great.
dope. That piece around her bun is everything.
I love that. I
love it.
freaking love it.
It's excellent. It is like dead perfect. It's exactly
yeah.
Ava as I've kind of like always imagined her for the most part. Like it's just dead on.
Love it. Love it.
I love it. Yeah, thank you, Kirk. Again, big shout out to you, my dude. You've crushed it. We have 3 great pieces of like painting art of our characters, of their characters rather. Yeah, it's awesome, and it's a nice little like encapsulation of who these characters are now visually. It's just really cool. Other than that, is there any other way people
they
can
can
support
fill
us
that
that I am
bar down
forgetting?
there that causes trouble.
Obviously. Oh, the other big thing. If you are enjoying the stream and you want to catch the stream or you miss it or you show up late and you want to watch it right away, if you're a subscriber here on the Twitch channel, you can just watch it instantaneously when we're done, or even just jump on it half done. I think you can start it late if you want. But if you don't want to sub, or you just don't have it in the money right now, or maybe you're part of Patreon, you can just watch it for free on Tuesday, usually 2 days after this stream finishes, over at youtube.com/roll for it. And a big shout out to Roll for It as well, since that's where SOS originated. Both seasons are on their YouTube channel, so we figure why separate them. We're gonna put the 3rd season up there with it, a nice trilogy, all complete, and yeah, it's a huge way to show support for our show to Roll for It, and how much you guys missed it by just watching it and racking up those views. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm pretty much set to go. Everybody, this is Bub's last show. For about
not forever,
4 weeks.
just
not
for a little
forever.
bit.
Bub's coming back. 3 to 4 weeks.
Truth.
Yeah, he's just got stuff to take care of. He will be back. But this will be Ali's little temporary goodbye. I'm very excited to see how you all react to it, as I am very excited to do it.
We're gonna have some guests.
It should be really, really fun. Oh yeah. Now that with Bub gone, we will have Josh back. Maggie should be seeing a return. Maybe a couple other people that we've seen in the shows. I'd love to have Diana swing on by and jump in for a guest role. Drac would be awesome.
Drac causes
to have
too many
as well.
problems
He
for
was
this
really
game.
fucking great.
Drac is a troublemaker at heart.
Kemba, yeah, but that's like that's exactly Ava's type.
I know.
Oh God. Oh no.
And he's British, so that's just
Kemba was just a Saito.
He's British and a troublemaker. Yeah.
I have enough. Okay, I have enough troublemakers in my life. I do not need one more.
He was Kemba in the other show was like Saito without blood magic.
Funny.
Basically. He's
Okay.
a dangerous little manipulative shithead.
All right.
Okay.
It appears that we're hitting just a small snag. It looks like we're
That's
getting
what
some desyncing on video and sound
y'all are showing perfectly
for everyone
fine
but
for
Dot.
me.
Everyone but Dot.
Yeah.
That's what's so weird.
Let me turn on my stream. Let me look at my stream.
Should we leave
No,
and come back?
I think
No, this
I
is
think
on.
yeah, it's on hosted, which is
hosted.
weird because I'm not even going through my bad. Okay, hold everybody. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Got it.
switch to. I'm gonna just switch to a different set of headphones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
We'll
for
figure
sure.
it out.
So I'm gonna do that here. Everybody, hold tight.
And it appears, I could be wrong, but it appears that someone has already filled the shadow bar.
They
wow.
want it. They got it out for us
Shit.
today. Okay. And then I'm gonna change. Okay, y'all give me a sound test.
Hello. Testing 1, 2.
Hello, everybody. Are we lagging? Am I lagging?
Does this appear to be better?
Hopefully, good. I'm getting a little bit of a late start. Blame it on me. I got home later than I meant to.
Oh
today.
yes, they say that's better.
Okay,
Yay,
cool.
fixed.
So it must have just been like
Great.
a routing issue.
Yep. So what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna do that because I think it must have been a latency with my Bluetooth headphones.
Am I lagging
checks
still?
out.
Test. Hello. I'm just going to be talking for a little bit. See if I'm lagging. Do I look laggy? Do I sound laggy? Let me know.
You look good for me.
Let me know, chat.
Keep us posted, everybody. We appreciate your help today. So weird because like if I can't see it, I don't know what we need you, chat, because I can't see it. What you see?
Okay.
Make sure you refresh
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, please do a
on your
refresh
end,
as
do
well.
a refresh. So everybody, take 10 seconds, do a refresh on your browser, and we won't say anything of great import until you return. But it looks like we're getting thumbs up from chat. Good to go. So that must have solved our problem. So that we'll see how it goes. You are not being a negative Nancy. We appreciate the help. We couldn't have solved the tech issue if y'all don't tell us. So
it's not going to eat up any of the showtime. Don't you worry.
Yeah, I ain't worried about it. Okay, here we go.
All right, if we're all good, then I'm good. Are we ready then? All right.
Ready.
Without further ado, let's rein things in, set the scene, and see what our coterie is up to. We hear hurried, heavy footsteps down concrete as our vision slowly fades in. Orange street lights are streaking by, and on the sidewalk as our camera pulls back, moving at a slight jogging pace, with her heavy combat boots, her long red dreads, is Dakota. The night prior, as you departed from your coterie, and you arrived on your yacht, you found a note, handwritten, scribbled. I believe we covered it 2 episodes ago. That note simply gave an address and said, "Come alone." Dakota weighed her options, realized that this could be good or bad. However, she is operating for Mr. Jackson now, and there are things she's dabbling in that she needs to arrive at alone. So, after weighing her options, she had made her decision, and the following night, as she roused, she left, heading for that particular address. Her heavy bootsteps are quickly swallowed up by the other sounds of chatter and cars. The further we pull back, the more we see an early night in Chicago beginning to take shape. But soon enough, off in the distance, a rundown building at the end of a road, way north of East Village, much closer to Bucktown, is the address's location. As you walk up, this 2-story brick building with shattered windows, typical outskirts Chicago-looking area, you realize what sign is left, what faded imprints remain. This place was once a library.
Okay. Is the front door like chained and locked? Does it look abandoned or just closed?
It doesn't look chained and locked from a distance. Does Dakota walk up to it and check manually?
I was about to say, you know what? I'm supposed to be here, and I'm not scared. So yeah.
So with confidence and big steps, running up the 4 concrete step that lead up to the door, with the last step of concrete mostly chipped and worn away, you have to take a much longer gait on that last one to not trip and fall. And as you arrive up to the door and you pull on it, it does open about an inch before on the inside you can see an old chain holding it shut. The chain wouldn't be on the outside.
No light from the inside, no light.
As you take a look in, so you're going to pull it open, like peer into the crack and look around as best you can?
Yeah.
Can I get a wits awareness, but whatever you roll, take a -1 success on it, simply because you're not getting a huge view of the building.
Hey, this may not be great for. Oh, you know what? Don't I have I have something for this. What am I talking about? I have Eyes of the Beast.
You do have Eyes of the Beast.
I will
I will say that will eliminate the penalty.
Great.
It's free, correct?
It is free to use.
It makes your eyes glow.
It makes them glow, so I can basically see in the dark. Yeah.
So as our camera slips into the crack that is open between the door and its frame, and it spins around, we see the silhouette of Dakota peering into the crack. What color does her eyes illuminate? It's been so long since we've seen it.
They probably look like cat eyes in the darkness. You know, when you like flash a flashlight across the cat's eyes and they just appear. It's like that.
A little bit of a yellow glow that will kind of emanate from them. And as you peer around, go ahead and make me your wits awareness, but you may remove the penalty I was going to incur.
No extra dice. Difficulty?
Difficulty for this without the penalty, it's just going to be a 3. Slightly hard.
Okay, it is slightly hard.
Wow.
Yeah, nope, not for me.
Not only as you pull it, you weren't expecting the chain, and so it rattles and stops. But as you look inward to try and get a good glance, there seems to be some sort of desk leaned up against the wall nearby, right to your left. So it completely blocks out your left side vision, only allowing you to see kind of to the right. And that's just the rest of the room, which is not illuminated by any light. But you can see, since you have your Eyes of the Beast on, a completely disheveled what was once a library. Multiple bookshelves are thrown and tipped over onto the ground. Some papers are scattered, well abandoned. There's tags of multiple graffiti marks all along the walls of the part that you can see. However, without either finding another way in or just using brute strength to snap the chain on the inside, that's about as much as you can take in at the moment.
Is there graffiti on the outside of the building?
No, none on the outside. Not a lot of graffiti on the buildings in this area. Beyond
just on the inside. Do I see any kindred markings? I believe I have something for this.
I would need you to make me. Let me open up a different character sheet here.
Because I have gotta find it.
I know you have is it a specialty?
I do have a specialty. It basically it allows me to know kindred markings.
Yeah.
Graffiti on the walls is what it's called, or something like that.
Well, what I will say is I need a wits investigation. However, your specialty won't apply, but it's because you would not recognize any of these. None of them are kindred markings.
Then I wouldn't roll for it. That's all she wants to know. Is like, is this building marked by a clan or a person or?
There's no clan markings that you're aware of. There in what you can see anyway. There's no symbols of the Camarilla or the Anarchs. There's no of the many that you've seen throughout Chicago, and you kind of taking that as like a deep interest to nothing that you recognize.
Here's a question, and something Dakota's not asked in almost a decade. Are there any hobo markings?
That's a very good question. And do you have a specialty in that?
I want to think it was one of the things that Dakota was the only thing Dakota could read, because she was illiterate, gotcha. But she could. But so it's been a decade since she's read it. You know what I mean? So she was part of that culture, I guess. So
you may give me I'm going to take an intelligence resolve on this roll. It's like a memory roll, as opposed to a spotted roll.
Actually, maybe better for me. Nope, 1.
With 1. It's hard to tell, man. This angle is difficult. Cool. It's your Eyes of the Beast, sure, giving you better vision, but you need to get a full-on look at this room beyond what you're getting.
So I don't want to burst through the front door. That's a bit dramatic.
Sure. Yeah, you can like pull until it snaps too. You don't have to like slam it.
Did you say something was in front of it?
There was just a desk on the left of it that was blocking your vision on the left. It wasn't holding the door
not
shut.
The door itself. Okay.
Just the chain is being the only thing that's holding it.
I'd be pissed if somebody broke the chain to my front door. So, is there a broken window on another story? Yeah.
So you just want to do a walk around?
Yeah.
The
let me
building
do it. Let me do a loop, and then I'll come back, and I'm just looking for a way in that doesn't add to the disheveled state of the building.
Absolutely. So we see Dakota kind of push the door shut, back up, and maybe even sigh in frustration, just reflexively, before she patters down the stairs and banks are right and starts to walk around the building. And as you walk down this asphalt side area of the building, it leads to a small parking lot that would have at one point held 10 cars, maybe, but now there's nothing but garbage, bottles, and an old bicycle that's missing both of its wheels, still chained to the bike stand that it once was years and years and years ago. You even walking up and like maybe just like as you walk by it, you can still see the lock is rusted from rain over the years and whatnot. So it's like the only thing that catches your eye. Gazing up at the building itself, there are a bunch of boarded up windows on the first floor. In fact, as you continue your walk, all of the windows on the first floor are either boarded up or from the outside or the inside. They're all kind of closed. But on the second floor, gazing up there is on the back end, one double arched window that is too big to really board, and has a few different broken parts to it, where if you got up there, you could easily just kind of kick in a little bit of the glass or pull it out and then slip in relatively quietly.
Okay, I will parkour my way to the top, whether I have to use
dumpsters.
Please
make me that roll.
There's
plenty of opportunities, plenty of areas with fire escapes and a nearby dumpster that you could easily
strength athletics with the extra bonus. Come on, dice, don't fail me now. There we go. Five
successes. What does it look like when Dakota she takes in all of this and she makes her decision? Like, how does she bound up?
I imagine she like pushes a dumpster like over close enough where she can get that like running leap, because you got to get it the second floor, you know. And so she takes the running jump and jumps from that to a fire escape and like bounds up a couple, flips up another layer, and then kind of probably even if you've ever seen a cat climb brick, like nails up a floor or something to get that last ledge before she makes it to the window.
You are also welcome to make me a dexterity stealth check if you want to keep as quiet as possible, because I mean you are doing rather not large, but rather intense physical maneuvers on things that could clang and echo.
That's true.
It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm not saying you're like,
I mean,
you know, making loud that's echoing across all blocks.
I got a 3. I don't want anybody on the street to see me, but somebody wants me here, so they know I'm coming.
With 3 successes, you are, you know, you kind of watch the pedestrians for a little while before you make your move. And when there's a moment where you're confident you can move faster than the next person's going to arrive, we see her make her move. And just as she's up on the side, clung to the broken window, maybe even hanging off the side a bit with one foot up against the brick and one inside the busted window, our camera kind of pulls back and we have this profile shot of her just kind of badass, almost Batman-like, just on the second floor. And do we see you kind of kick in some of the glass? Do you reach and pull some out, like enough to make room for you?
Yeah,
it's already broken hole.
Yeah, if it's already broken, I'll you know, I've got gloves on. I'll punch it out a bit and look around in the darkness to hopefully.
Wits awareness me with your. I imagine your eyes of the beast stayed on the whole time.
Oh,
where it's a scene thing.
For
right?
sure. I will say this seems like, since I'm actually getting in the building, a willpower behind this. So I'm gonna go ahead and rouse and add a. I'm sorry, I'm gonna rouse the blood before I do this. That's what I want.
Please do rouse it up.
Did it roll to rouse?
I did not get one.
Let me try again. There we go. Okay, I succeeded.
You do not get any hungrier.
Oh, there it goes again. Can we take the first one, Matt?
Yeah, we'll take the first one. It's just roll 20 being laggy.
All right, cool. I'll add a +2 to the wits awareness. Oops. Yeah, that'll work. Wits. No bonus for my eyes, right? Just the.
It just removes penalty.
Great.
Well, actually, I'll give you a +1 because now you're not taking a penalty initially from just the slit in the door.
Right.
So you would. It'll give you a bonus.
Okay. Then let's try that again. Wits. That'll be 3 extra dice. Please let me see something. I got a 4.
Fantastic. Give me one moment. I just need to look something up real quick.
That makes me feel better. Thank you, Roll20, for finally being on my side today.
I'm looking for one thing in particular. Just give me a second.
I'm going to drink this tea while Mathis.
Please do.
Everybody, hydrate, everybody.
Everybody hydrate. I need to drink more water. I just drink coffee, basically.
I know. I'm bad about that too, Mathis.
It's the worst.
I am now forcing myself. It's so off topic, but it's okay. I'm forcing myself a glass of water when I get up in the morning.
Oh, that's smart.
So when I get out of bed, the first thing I do is I have to drink a glass of water before I can have my cup of coffee.
I like it. Okay, with 4 successes, as you look through and kind of gaze into this now very open second floor, you see the second floor is it's not filled in completely. The center is open and it allows you to look down into the first floor of the library.
Sure.
Well, there's a walking path all the way around where bookshelves are kind of sporadically still there. Some are just utterly missing, and you can see behind it the faded wallpaper met with the darker wallpaper where that once bookshelf may have been, and splintered wood, needles, broken bottles, and other assorted garbage just litters the area. But Dakota just holds and her eyes glance around. Our camera even pulls up to her as we see how she darts around looking from spot to spot until for a moment you think you saw a little bit of movement on the first floor on the right-hand side, just under where the second floor's floor blocks your vision. It's hard to see what it was. It seemed like it was a chair that may have wobbled or moved, but it was very, very, very slight, and it's hard to tell if that was due to somebody there or a raccoon, rat, possum.
Well, you know what? I got an invitation.
You did? Mm-hmm.
I'm supposed to be here for good or for bad. So Dakota, as I step in, I kind of look around and go, hello? Knock, knock, knock.
You kind of did you say you flip yourself in as you're saying that, or do you
Yeah,
just
like
say
I
it while
actually
holding?
like come in the building, like I come through the
Okay.
window. I don't
And as
necessarily
we
go downstairs or proceed too far. It's like I'll be polite and stand in the foyer.
so we see Dakota just kind of swing into the giant open hole, landing on the second floor very deftly and quietly. And as she rises from her crouched position, that's when knock, 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 hello kind of echoes out. And the building itself almost responds with your own voice in that kind of reverberation sound. And as you speak out, before you even get a chance to continue saying whatever you're going to say, you do hear what sounds like a wooden chair scraping against a hard floor from the first floor.
I'll take that as a come in. I will head towards the stairs that take me down if they're still
Yep, they're down the
intact.
center on the other side. So as you walk around and you make your way to the stairs, you start kind of down the stairs.
Nice digs you have.
And as you're making your way down the stairs, there's no need to make a roll. While still dim light, your eyes are glowing and you can see rather well. You see a somewhat tall figure stand from a chair that you definitely saw move on now your left-hand side. And they stand with long hair, maybe down to their shoulders, and they, with a hurried pace, make their way to close that like 15-foot gap between the bottom of the stairs and where they were clearly seated. There is a few brief moments, and may I get from you a wits investigation?
Sure. Am I looking for something particular?
No. Don't worry.
Okay. I got a 1.
You can re-roll one of those.
Dare I ask if Streetwise would qualify?
It would not.
Okay.
Not for this.
I could. I will re-roll one.
It.
I could re-roll one of them. It's not a whole lot for a re-roll, but that's okay.
Hey, it is what it is.
I got a 5. Didn't make it.
It's hard to tell. You can see this person as they step into view, and they're clearly a woman. They have kind of very delicate skin. They're a little scrawny looking. They're wearing a t-shirt of a Nirvana band on the front, and they just have long jeans with like boots on their feet. But it's hard to place who it is until they speak. I didn't think you'd come. And that voice that falls out of this person's mouth, it has been 2 years, is familiar. It once belonged to a young girl who's clearly gone through a bit of a growth spurt over the past 2 years. A little werewolf girl that was once your very best friend.
Did you expect me not to?
She doesn't say a word, and she just barrels toward you.
I'll meet her with open arms.
Her arms are thrown around your shoulders, and she pulls you close, and she's as tall as you are now.
You're not really supposed to be out like by yourself in scary, decrepit buildings.
She doesn't respond, but giggles a little bit as she continues to hold the embrace for a little longer.
Did you get my postcard?
You can feel her head go up and down in a yes motion.
I like pry her off of my body so I can physically like see her.
As you do, you take her in. Now that you know who it is, yeah, you can see her in there. She's 11 now, maybe 12 or so. I can't remember exactly how old she was. I think she was like 8 or 9. But she is clearly going through probably one of her first growth spurts. And as she looks on you with her hair much longer now, she just has a smile, and you can see tears welling up in her eyes.
Hey, is something wrong? Is everything okay?
She quickly, like when you say something wrong, she quickly shakes her head no. When you say is everything okay, she just shakes her head yes.
Then why are you crying?
She goes to say something and gets kind of caught up and chokes on her own words for just a second.
You know what? Let's leave the scary, decrepit building and go for a walk.
No. She just like puts her hand up. And they don't know I come here, so it's just safer.
Who is they?
She looks to you with a raised eyebrow. The ones you left me with.
Okay. Is this the same neighborhood as like where the house is?
Not the same neighborhood, but it's not like super far away.
Right,
anything.
like it's within a walking distance for a kid. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I came all this way and we're here. So what do you want to do?
She almost at a loss for words. You could see her cheeks get flush and almost in an embarrassment. And she goes, "I don't want to do anything. I just wanted to see you."
Okay. Well, I take a seat. I pull up a decrepit chair and to have a seat. Well, sit down.
Sure, yeah. She grabs the seat she was sitting on, and as she sits in it, you can hear the wood in its age kind of creak. And she just is like, her eyes are just locked onto you.
Yeah, you are going to school? Yes, still?
She nods to that.
Swear.
Yeah, I'm not lying.
Okay.
I'm doing everything you told me to do.
It's good to see you, kid.
You too. And when you say that, she like the eyes, like the tears that were being held back give way, and she just kind of like chokes and smiles, and the tears flow. Like, I'm sorry. And she just wipes the tears out of her eyes.
You don't have to apologize for your feelings. I learned that.
I don't even know what to talk about now that you're here. I didn't even know you still lived on the boat or not.
Yeah, I do.
I saw the pups, so I figured maybe.
You saw the pups?
She smiles.
They were nice?
They remembered me.
So you're getting bigger.
She nods. I mean, and you aren't. She tries to like giggle at that.
Yep. Never gonna change, kid. I know, it's kind of weird. We don't have to talk about me. Let's talk about you. I might be stuck at a ripe 17, but I can tell you I did go through puberty, and I imagine that you have questions, which
Your audio is gone.
Are you feeling okay? Wait for it. Let's try again.
Okay, I hear you now.
Yep, there you go.
Perfect.
Are you feeling okay? Are you?
Yeah, yeah. Every time there's a full moon, I'm not allowed to leave.
Right.
But nothing's happened yet.
Okay, that's good. Oh, well, it might soon-ish.
In this moment, as Dakota maybe is even starting to feel awkward, trying to get this like almost feels necessary for a conversation, you see the awkwardness crawl over her face as well. She breaks eye contact.
Look, you know what?
What have you been doing these past 2 years? You know, how often do you send her postcards?
Once a month.
Are they with substance?
Yeah, you know, they are checking in, and I imagine that I do get to visit every once in a while, but not frequently enough. I mean, the postcards.
Because you left her with
I'm gonna have to look
Eleanor,
up
right?
Eleanor. Yep.
You didn't leave her with the pack, right?
No, we did not. We left her with Eleanor, who is basically taking care of her day to day, and I'm making sure Eleanor gets what little money Dakota has to take care of her.
The what I will say is that you haven't seen her in the past 2 years. Eleanor has probably through a little bit of maybe pushback from Dakota, has made the decision not to allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Her reasons are her own. She spoke them to you back then in terms of your safety and her safety and you know what she knows you're involved in at least. And so you haven't seen her in 2 years. So she snuck out.
So, yeah, I can't, Eleanor doesn't really like you hanging out with me.
I know. I tried to convince her a couple times for my birthday at least. And, she said it was too dangerous. And she doesn't know when things are going to happen to me. And she's not even sure how to handle it, I'm afraid too. I don't want to hurt her. I don't know how to.
Right.
I don't even know what to expect. That's kind of why I wanted to talk to you a little bit. I haven't turned yet. I haven't become a. And she catches herself before she says monster. Maybe we could stop it and I can just be what you are.
Oh, I don't think that's a good idea, kid. As in most societies, there are rules and things that I can't break, and I honestly don't want this for you.
Yeah, but you broke so many rules for me already.
I did, and there are consequences to all actions.
I know. I just been thinking about it. I just missed you. I miss Eleanor's really nice, but she's like my grandma.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. She's a little dated, but she takes good care of you. And I know that you're doing your homework when you're with her. So, and okay. Oh. There may come a point when your body changes that the moon affects you differently. And it might be dangerous for Eleanor. And it might be time for you and I to discuss you going to live somewhere else.
What do you mean?
I mean to go live with other people like you.
Okay. Still here, though? In Chicago?
Here in Chicago.
Okay, I'm nervous. They make me scared.
I understand.
Last time they were mean to me. They locked me up and we're just waiting.
Well, you know what? If it means anything, kid, they've only ever been mean to me too.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is, if you were with others who understand your plight, then it's less dangerous for those that don't.
What if they want me to do things that I don't want to do? You told me about them. I remember the stories you told me about them.
That's true.
I don't want to be your enemy.
Do you know, when I first moved to Chicago, I also had many of these same fears. The fact of the matter is, kid, nobody can make you do what you don't want to do.
And she silently nods to that. Her eyes break contact with you as she looks down at her hands that are folded on the table. She's fiddling with her thumb and picking at one of her nails.
I grab her hands to stop, and I kind of look at her close, and I say, your choices are always your choices. And if you don't want to go, you don't have to.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm just scared. I just been. And she takes a breath before she looks to the ceiling and takes another deep breath. Just been getting a lot more angry lately at stupid, silly things, and I don't know if it means anything. But I hurt Eleanor's feelings the other night. I called her a stupid old hag. I didn't mean it.
That's puberty. That has nothing to do. It happens. Everybody gets angry. Maybe we could find healthy ways for you to deal with your anger.
Okay. I mean, it's like you don't think it's because of the
I definitely do, but this is why we need to, find some positive outlets for you to express those feelings.
Okay. Yeah. I'll do anything. Eleanor tried to tell me I should keep a diary, but I don't know. I don't like to write. I don't want to.
What do you like to do?
I like to do my homework and read books, she says, with the biggest, most obvious 11-year-old lie you've ever heard.
Okay, what do you like to do when Eleanor's not watching?
I like to go out.
Okay.
I have this friend that I like to go hang out with. He's taught me a few cool things, like he understands some like graffiti stuff like you do, and it's been really fun to learn. And we knocked over a couple garbage cans once. That was really fun.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. He?
Yeah. I met him when I was just out one night.
Does this male person have a name?
Yeah. He calls him. And she has 1,000 thoughts that almost try to pour out of her mouth all at once before she takes a breath and catches herself. Braden.
Braden.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old is Braden?
He's 13.
Is he now?
Yeah.
And Braden likes to kick over trash cans.
Yeah.
Cool.
And there's a street about 6 blocks away from the library where there's a couple of abandoned cars, and we go out there and we smash windows sometimes.
Cool. Do you happen to know where Braden lives?
She shakes her head.
Cool. Okay. Well, if
she actually will stop you and cut you off. He doesn't know where I live either. We have a meetup spot. Don't worry. I'm careful.
Okay. I'm so glad to hear that. You've got a meetup spot with Braden. This place where you go smash windows. I like to smash windows too. Where is that?
Yeah. And she gives you the name of a street that is
perfect.
Sure. Over in the Douglas area.
Great. And I'm guessing there's nothing. Well, okay, you know what? I don't want to talk about Braden anymore.
He's cool. I think you'd like him.
I bet I would. Hannah, I was thinking about an after-school activity that could be cool.
Will you be there?
I will not be there because it...
You watch the disappointment just on her face when you say no.
I think, have you ever thought about martial arts? So, one of the really cool things about our plights, right, are the special strengths that come with it. And you wouldn't have to be afraid.
I'm not afraid when I'm with Braden, though. He has a big knife that he has on him to keep us safe.
Oh, I did not need to know that.
Do you know Braden?
I don't know him at all.
You should meet him. I'll take you to see him.
I look forward to the day that I meet Braden. All right. I look forward to the... I'm back. I am back.
Yep, now you're back.
Okay, I'm back. I thought I was. I would encourage you to stop relying on other people for your safety. What if you didn't need Braden and his big knife? Or
she goes again to speak, but catches herself and lets you go.
What if you were better trained and stronger than those that you fear?
I mean, I know when whenever what's supposed to happen happens, I'll be okay again. I'll be able to protect myself better.
But you won't be able to control your anger.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you want me to take karate?
Actually, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I do.
Where?
There's a dojo a few blocks up from the house.
What's a dojo?
It is the facility in which they host karate classes.
What's a facility?
The building, the space,
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't actually...
I think I had to spell that word in my spelling test, and I don't think I got it right.
I think what I'm saying is I'll make sure your karate classes are paid for, and then you can work out some of that aggression and be able to protect yourself, and I would sleep a lot better at night knowing you're hanging out with Brayden.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that sounds kind of fun. I've never taken karate.
Okay.
I like the SpongeBob episode where he knows karate, though.
One day you'll be even better than SpongeBob.
She giggles at that a little bit. How do we tell?
I'm gonna get you all signed up. I will let the right people know. You'll probably get a phone call. It'll be great. It'll be after school thing. It shouldn't cut into your Brayden time.
Maybe one day Brayden can take it too.
Yeah, maybe. Then I'll learn how to use that knife.
He's really good with it.
Encouraging.
He killed a rat with it. I watched. It was a big rat too.
How impressive.
She smiles without realizing you're being sarcastic.
I know. I'm trying really hard here. I need to walk you back home, kid.
I know how to get home from here. I don't want to get in trouble because I came to see you, and if she knows that we hung out, she might be extra mean about it, and I'll go. But maybe I can send you a note again sometime.
Of course. Let's avoid the boat, shall we? And there's a mail slot in the front of the theater. Drop it there.
I will.
Actually, kid, if you start feeling, the urge, the change, if you start feeling real angry.
Do you know what that's supposed to feel like?
I don't, kid.
Okay.
But I imagine you'll know at the moment it happens.
Okay.
Listen, look at me.
Yeah, I am. And she
this
brings her eyes up to you.
11-year-old, this is important.
Mm-hmm.
If you start to feel really bad, before the full moon, take the back door into the theater and down to the basement. There is a metal cage there.
Okay.
You can lock yourself in, and I drop by every few days. It's the safest place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, scatter before you get in trouble, and I have to hear about it.
Okay. And she tries to buy a little time, but
hey, also, no graffitiing on a commercial business. I do not want to bail you out of juvie.
What's that?
Just.
I haven't. I only spray painted one car.
Okay.
And it was a broken one that we already broke.
Okay.
Already broke.
Okay.
I'm telling you. Okay. And she stops it is extremely dirty and old at this point, and she scatters out the front door.
And I tell her to pit her on. I watch her leave to make sure she's actually going where she's supposed to.
And she does.
And then I have a date with a junkyard. And a little boy named Brayden.
Oh, you're going looking for him, no problem.
He needs one good threatening. I am.
You are a second and a half off if you want to reboot real quick. That
now?
Hey, welcome back.
Okay, great. Do I look synced?
You look back to normal. So you watch and make sure she leaves, and as she rounds a block and makes her way in the direction of the library, Dakota quickly bounds off. Do you make a pit stop anywhere? Do you stop at the bar, or do you just go right for the street that she gave you?
All I'm looking to do is run across. If he is there, he needs a quick, just like snatch up a few threatening words. If I just need to make a single roll for it, that's like, I swear to God, if she gets in trouble.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Did you ever ask what he looked like?
No, I didn't. But she did say he's the one with the big knife, and if he's only 13,
sure. If you look for a big knife, absolutely.
I'm gonna look for the big knife.
Yeah. It takes you not a decent walk. You could take a cab down that way to cut the time as well. And when you hit the street,
I got a skateboard. I'll skate down.
Yeah, you can skateboard down that way. It takes a little bit of time, but as you arrive, the street is as she described, a very poor area of town. There's a trash barrel with a fire kind of licking out of it as a few people stand around it. And the buildings here are abandoned but occupied, if that makes sense. And there are a few cars that are missing tires that have seen years of not being moved from the street. Even the asphalt around it has cracked a bit and given way to some grass that he's starting to sprout up. Just completely destroyed. If you by looking at it, this isn't just the work of Hannah and Braden.
Right.
These things have been destroyed over and over and over again as time has gone on. Glass shattered all around it, whatnot. Bottles were clearly thrown at it. You can see all kinds of just evidence of vandalism throughout. But no matter where you look or how hard you look, there's no 13-year-old boy with a giant knife wandering the street tonight.
Okay, I'll come back. I just needed to make the loop. He's going to get one good threat, and that's all he needs. Then I'll head back. I'll skate back over to the bar, I guess. Yep. It's been, 24 hours or so.
As you roll up to the bar, Ava and Ollie are already together. They're having conversation. As the door swings open, there's just a little bit of business, but not much. And Ava stood next to the bar with a glass of wine that Grant poured you not too long ago. And Ollie stood right nearby as well. And as the door swings open and both of your attention is pulled, there's Dakota with her boots clopping on the ground as she jumps off of her skateboard.
Hey, sorry I'm late. I had an unexpected appointment.
Seems to be happening a lot these days with all of us.
Yes.
What
Unexpected.
Wait a second. What'd I miss?
Where do you want to start? Ava had... We can start with Ava's vision that she had. No. Dakota was already... No, Dakota wasn't there, right?
I went on my date
yes.
with Nero, and it involved piano, which was very nice.
How
and
romantic.
The song that I've been telling you about.
Oh, yeah, the one you've been dreaming about.
Yeah, well, it sparked something, that's for certain, during the concert when it was played. I saw a vision, and I saw Saito again in it, and Nero was there too, which was a little weird. Just seeing lots of handsome men in my visions, it's a dream. But that's the important part of this is Saito was trying to tell me something, and he pointed to a hospital in Chicago. I saw visions of the city again, that deep black dark hole in the center, and I thought he was trying to talk to me, but he couldn't. He pointed to a hospital, and so I dragged Ollie with me to check it out, to see what it meant. And unexpected meetings. I met with somebody who's from Saito's past.
The hospital itself is important, I'm sure it would as well, as it sits directly on the line between Camarilla and Anarch territory.
Yes, I would also explain that to Dakota. Saito used to own the building, or does, or owned it.
The hospital?
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was a doctor.
This is a surprise. Okay.
You know,
Dakota just cracks up.
I'm sorry. I'm taking this really serious. So, your male fantasy dream led you to Saito's hospital, where
Yes.
you met somebody from his past.
yes, a kid.
What is it with kids tonight? Okay.
Nelson
Raise an
is his
eyebrow.
name.
Yes, she raised an eyebrow at that, but he was a thin blood named Nelson.
Really?
Yes, Saito was taking care of him, and now he's on his own.
Is he still at the hospital?
We've kind of given him a thanks to Ollie, darling. We've given him
Just Ava like thanks to Ollie and like gesture for him to like pick it up from here.
Thanks to Ollie, we gave him a place to hang his hat. That isn't the hospital.
He's in one of the back rooms?
We're not treating him like Artie, okay? We're not putting him in the freezer.
In the background, out of focus, you see Ollie already wiping a table. Yeah, very quietly to himself.
Okay, where did we put him up?
I put him in one of my halfway houses.
Okay. Well, that's better. Okay, well, I would like to speak to this thin blood Nelson.
You'll get your chance. I also gave him a job. He's now working under the manager of the Lights Out pub. Grant has his first real employee.
So
If you even look out toward the kitchen, even though he was cooking a minute ago, as you look over now, he's looking at you smiling.
Okay, so Grant got a promotion. Wait, does that mean Artie's not an employee?
Artie's trying to find his way. As soon as he gets his feet back beneath him, then he'll be out of the freezer. Besides, he starts carrying a little bit of a lingering odor with the meat that we keep in there.
I give Ollie the eyes of like, what else happened?
Oh, I had to tell
Very
Haley.
obvious to Dakota.
Lifestyle. Un-lifestyle.
Wait, say that last part again. I'm sorry. My audio may or may not have cut out, so say that last part again.
I had to catch Haley up with our lifestyle, or so to speak, un-lifestyle.
She's now aware of what we are, all of us.
Is she okay?
No,
She took a couple of bottles and a couple of nights.
She needs some time to process it all.
Y'all are putting it way too lightly. As Grant speaks from the kitchen. I walked her into her house. She sat down and started drinking. I tried to talk to her and she just didn't respond. So she took it kind of hard.
She's in denial, I think.
I mean, has anybody checked on her?
It's only
it's not been very long.
Just
Either way, I have a feeling that if she's gonna quit, she'll come in and do it in person. She's not the kind to break up over texts, if you know what I'm saying. Either way, she's informed, and there was a reason that we had to tell her. We had a surprise guest, a visitor at the bar. It was Layla.
As Layla like falls
reaction.
out of her mouth and we see the camera kind of pan over to a shocked look on Dakota's face. Why don't we take a quick $5 and get everything just reset and sorted, if that helps? Because IMC chat said we all lose it. So we're gonna come down for 5 minutes. We'll just go away. We're gonna do an audio reset and we will return and we will be right back. Let's pick back up with Ollie, re-speaking kind of that scene. Go for it, Ollie.
So Haley's taking some time. She's going to take a couple of days. And the reason that we did that was because we had a bit of an unexpected visitor. We had a guest. Layla stopped by the bar.
And Dakota, as the camera pans over, is slightly mouth agape, utterly speechless.
Okay, I'm gonna guess it was a cordial conversation since the bar is still standing.
I really don't know how, but she played on my honor. But she's never met me.
What do you mean she played on it?
She knew about the rules. She knew about the rules of the Lights Out pub.
I know how she got here.
She came here expecting to not get into a fight.
Okay, what did she want?
She mostly wanted to break me down, test my willpower, my resolve, see if I would snap and fold her in half.
Okay, so
but it didn't work out that way.
And what, she just walked out the front door?
Yeah.
Not without tipping her waiter.
Okay.
She did.
Dakota.
How did she get here?
It was needles. She took needles and probably tortured him, and he spilled information about us. I had a vision about it.
Still have needles?
You don't know.
She might. I saw it.
Do you
in my vision.
remember anything where she was holding him?
It was too vague of a vision.
Shakes her head.
I don't think it's going to be the last that we see of her. She felt like she could waltz in here and inform me that I took her boy away from her.
Well, that's kind of funny since she took your boy from you, but it's fine. We can point fingers later. What the fuck are we gonna do about it?
I don't know, but I don't think none of us obviously are safe. Anybody who's close to Ollie is not safe.
She threatened in her own way. She said that if she couldn't get to me, she would get to those closest to me. And Grant was right there, in the bar, in the kitchen. There's a lot of insinuation, so I had to cut Haley in on. I had to let her know that she's in trouble. So I did a couple of things that I'm a bit remorseful about, which is to bring her into this And then I asked Ava if she would ghoul her.
Haley?
Yeah.
I was gone for like 12 hours.
I haven't done it yet. Don't worry.
Is that something Haley wants?
No.
We don't know yet.
You have no idea.
If she makes a decision and she's going to stay in this life, it's a masquerade breach for a human to know about us, right? I get it. It's also a masquerade breach to have ghouls, but she's safer as a ghoul.
She's being hunted by Layla and her lackeys. It might be a good option to keep her safer. Stronger. I'm not against the idea, but...
Either way, Layla will use her. As a kindred or a ghoul, she's gonna want to kill her because Layla hunts her, and as a total human connected to you, she's gonna use her as leverage. She's not safe either way.
At least at this point, if she gets ghouled and she gets injured, she'll have an opportunity to heal faster. Just like Grant was. I didn't want to ghoul him at first until he took that injury. I didn't want to do this to any of them. But, you know me, I'm a collector of sorts. Find those broken and addled, left out into the waste in the dumpster. And we home them.
Okay, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this Layla problem isn't just an us problem anymore.
No. No, it's not.
I feel like we need to maybe bring the right parties in on the matter.
Are you thinking Jackson?
I was thinking somebody disposable. Somebody Layla's not expecting. Somebody that's just as ruthless and fucking shit-headed as she is. And just as good as a hunter. McTavish.
That's a two birds, one stone.
Oh, it's not a bad idea. Angry Dakota.
Yeah. Get her in character. We're bringing her to the core of Dakota's.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, we can hear you though now.
Maybe it's just time for another, I have to visit McTavish again anyways. Based on our little deal, so...
Well, I've got a bit of a romp with an Anarch soon myself. I gotta go see Genghis, because I kind of ran into one of his deals and may have stepped on his toes a little bit.
Oh, we are called the loud ones.
McTavish is trying to buy Saito's building, which is where Nelson was living.
Genghis.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no,
Genghis. Genghis was trying to buy Saito's building, which is where Nelson was living. And before it becomes a cruel eviction, offered Nelson a spot, a chance. And...
Is he the only thin blood in that hospital?
As far as we could tell, they weren't exactly crawling out to greet us.
We did ask Nelson. Yeah, he said he had contact with 4 others, but none of them were in the building. They're all completely separated.
He's not the only thin blood left in Chicago. There's a few others.
Yes, I know. I've been trying to rally them a little bit.
I know you
wanted
have.
to give them a bit of a safe place.
Well, which rouses the memory to Ava that Nelson and whatnot informed you that they are planning to leave to New York.
When?
Don't know. They're looking for help. And I think maybe we could help.
I might have a better offer than New York.
They would be safe in New York.
Before you say yes, okay, 2 things to point out. From everything that I've heard, New York's a shithole, right? Isn't that where Vanessa was at, where all that whole explosion and nonsense went down?
That's where the tales of the Giovanni's a family reunion happened.
Aren't thin bloods more okay there, like how Lasombra are okay here now, you know?
Are they really? Are they ever really? Is Kindred safe at all, especially when you're the low man on the totem pole?
Yeah, but they're like,
I guess what I'm saying is, in Chicago, there's opportunity. In
Before
New
you
York,
say
there
yes,
is
though,
saturation.
you gotta really consider something. Nelson was right-hand man to Saito,
Has his journal and
and
everything.
I mean like real right, like more than a hand. He was basically the whole arm.
So what? I can't talk bad about Saito in front of him?
He'd probably get a little pissed about it.
Okay, so he can kick me in the shin. Like, what's he
I
gonna
don't-
do about it?
And
fact
he
of
was
the
pretty
matter is-
entrenched.
Okay, so he's got a little crush on Saito. I'll be
I think
nice.
it was more than that. I think there was some more that the depth of what Saito was doing. You know how he was getting into shit that he shouldn't have been getting into.
Yeah, okay, so we got a little weird. The fact of the matter is, I'm not here to get weird with them.
I got you. I just wanted to give you that knowledge, impart that to you.
I appreciate it. I'll maybe not slander Saito as much. Or something. I'll think about it. That being said, I definitely would like to maybe have a moment to chat with them. Because if there's more than one Thin Blood, I would like to maybe offer them the train yard for a period of time.
remember, he's learned from Saito, and he's a little skittish, to say the least, about divulging any information. He wants guarantee or promise that will help him first.
Well,
before
that's
he...
the plan.
Yeah.
So I'll come in all smiling and not insulting Saito and give him a place to stay for a while, and maybe we can get him to stick around.
Yes, I think that's a good idea. It's the Toreador way. Just let him wine and dine him a little bit, and then
wine and dine him in the train yard.
He's going to be real bougie at the halfway house. Paid his rent for a month, so I'm sure that they'll be hobnobbing it up. You know, all of the addicts and what have you.
Hey, Ollie.
Yeah.
You got cameras on your block?
Well, I mean, none that I do, but, you know, I got guys that are watching. Remember when I got the whole computer thing downstairs? They put up a bunch of cameras around, and I was told that we've constantly got someone watching this block, but, I mean, unless I put in a notice or notification, it's not like we've got hour by hour check-ins.
I guess what I'm saying is, if we have, if somebody's watching the block and we've got video footage or some kind of eyes on the prize, maybe we can find out a little bit more about which way Layla came into the block, how she got here. Track her.
Well, I got Archie's number. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years, but it's Ballard's tech guy.
Might
got a
be
bit of a
time to
working
let him
relationship.
know. And if she's trolling about the streets of Chicago, I imagine that Ballard doesn't just have eyes on your block.
Ballard's real hard to get a hold of. Archie, not so much.
Maybe Archie can get us what we need then.
You'll
Fact of the
know.
matter is, if we can figure out who she's watching, why, where she's making her loops, where she's buying her stuff, any information we can get on her gives us a leg up.
Agreed. Because right now we really don't have much.
And the more that I can give to McTavish, the more likely
he's be willing to help.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I can give him a ring.
That'd be cool. Does she know about the theater?
Oh, she has to.
I assume so.
Needles was at the theater. He was at the baby chorus show.
Yes. So, really nowhere is safe.
I might stay in the train yard tonight then.
I'll probably stay at the tower.
And she's watching here, so.
Oh, really?
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. She doesn't run a solo operation. Remember, she had the guy with the bomb in his face and shit on his back.
Right.
That worked out well.
That's what I was going to do tonight. I got to get the fucking bomb.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That is, that's get done.
I've got to head down towards the theater anyways to hit the train yard, if that's where I'm going to stay, so we could walk that way. Bombs down in the Wait, is that the morgue?
Yeah, it's
I
at the
was thinking
mortuary.
we could swing by the pawn shop and let, old lady Kaboom take a look at it.
I don't mind. I'll go, but I'm not going by street. If I'm going to have any dealings with anybody on the street, I don't want Layla knowing who I'm operating with anymore.
I get you. There's a back door into the pawn shop. Maybe we can knock and she'll let us in. Keep us off the street. Probably a sewer entrance nearby.
I can go unseen.
Sewers again.
It's the rest of you that I'm worried about.
Look. If she wants to hunt us, we have to give her some bait.
It's true.
And she's not yet made contact with me.
Well, she knows who you are, though.
No doubt. But there's probably a reason why she's avoided me. I don't mind being seen, is what I'm saying. I take life precautions in lieu of fucking shitheads like Layla.
I just think we need to just stick together at least. So, as long as nobody's on their own.
Why don't you go grab the bomb?
Yeah, I can do that. Just be careful who you associate with right now.
Yeah. Yeah, go grab the bomb and meet us all secret-like back behind the pawn shop. There's not going to be a whole lot Ava and I can do to keep out of public eye.
I'm going to go through the labyrinth, and I'm going to get a message out to Snitch. I haven't talked to him in a while, so I'm going to let him know that it's important.
You know, I'm having some thoughts. Big ones.
Mm-hmm.
If we can get a step ahead of a Layla, we could set our own trap.
How would we set a trap for Layla?
I'm working on that. Let's go check out the bomb.
Okay.
Actually, why don't you guys go check out that bomb?
Mm-hmm.
I think I know why I haven't seen Snitch. And I'm going to have to go down to that old courtyard.
Careful, Ollie.
You mean in the labyrinth? The sunken church?
Yep.
Okay.
When am I not careful?
Wait
Practically my middle name.
Wait.
You are the most careful out of all of us, I guess.
What is the trickiest place to escape in all of Chicago?
The prison in the labyrinth.
Are you?
Am I insinuating that we should lead Layla down there
Frank,
and leave her to die? Yes, I am. Let me simmer on that. Ollie, do your business. Just be careful. And, I don't trust Snitch. His name is Snitch.
You actually hear
him.
Artie from the back of the dining room. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that fucker.
Don't trust. You
Of
can't
course
trust a
not.
snitch.
No.
That's the reason he earned that name.
You're not exactly from the same family either. He looks out for the nos. Man, if I bring news to him, he'll perk up his ears. Besides, Layla's not exactly your run-of-the-mill SI, right? She's not your basic hunter.
Well,
Don't worry, Rowan told me all about it.
I was about to say
She
that's-
commands the hoodoo, and she's super strong, and I don't know, she's not normal. One thing's for sure, she's got brass balls.
I know another lady in this city that has brass balls.
Looking at two of them right now.
I appreciate that. I mean, bigger brass balls. They're attached to a sandwich.
Oh, God.
I guess.
Yeah.
Just saying. If anybody
Yeah.
were to take down Layla.
This is true.
Well, I think that's why she walked out of here so cordially.
I was about to say, or if there were any mundane kind that could take down a sandwich. Now that's a battle I'd buy popcorn for.
Yes, actually.
Okay.
Let them fight it out.
Well, I've talked about balls and puberty far too much tonight. Roll out.
Actually, before you roll out, does Dakota want to bring up
I was gonna say, what do you mean
little-
balls in puberty?
yeah. All right, cool. Yeah,
Ava
that's fine.
asks, like,
She's like, balls
what?
and puberty too much tonight. And Ava
Yeah.
is just confused.
Hannah, Eleanor and I made a deal. I wouldn't come around the house anymore, so I don't. I keep my distance. But the kid, she's a little free spirited.
Puppy find her way home.
Yeah. She called me into some decrepit library tonight to tell me she
Aw.
missed me. Yeah, it was cute. I know.
That is very cute.
Okay, but the thing about mortal beings is that they grow, and she's like right on the cusp of 13.
Oh, that explains it.
Okay, it wasn't the birds and the bees conversation. I'm just saying, like, she's gonna change, and I can't. God,
You're
God
Cut
damn.
off
Lost you.
again.
No, we lost you.
Dakota. Right in the middle of your story.
I think I said. I did
Yes.
say. I
we go.
said she had a bunch of plots and plans for me making her like me, which I was very adamant, like, no, that's not happening. She's gonna have to go be with her own kind.
Mm. Do you think you'll keep seeing her? Or you're going to try to see her again?
Do you think they'll let me see her?
That hasn't stopped her.
Yes, well, she also lives with a 80-year-old woman, not a pack of werewolves. But anyways, today's not that day. She still hasn't hit puberty, and there's definitely not a problem with a boy named Bradford or something. So come on! I don't want to talk about it anymore.
You keep throwing out last little things as you're trying to split away. Ava was like, wait a minute, what?
Bradford?
There's some,
What a name.
she has a crush on some kid that carries a big knife, and I'm not here for it. So
Oh, disapproving.
Also,
I see.
I'm gonna need some extra cash or income. So if anybody's got some side hustles or maybe maybe it's time to host another concert. I have to pay for karate classes now.
What do you
Karate.
need? How much do you need?
I
was like, I'm
just look the kid.
Pretty sure we can fund it.
I don't want the kid to turn out like me. You know what I mean? And she is already prone to aggressive outburst. So I thought I would give her a positive outlet to help control her anger, and then assure that she can fucking fight off any werewolf bullshit that ever comes her way. So I thought maybe karate classes would assure that she doesn't go running around busting windows and graffitiing cards with the kid that carries the knife from around the block.
Look, two things. There is no amount of money that you can throw at this problem to make it go away.
Right.
That's just part of growing up.
Right.
But two, the other thing is, what do you think I've been doing these last, 10 years? Dakota, I've got funny money.
He's
Stuff that I couldn't make
always
while I was
loaded.
alive.
So you'll pay for karate classes?
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Dakota runs over and like hugs Ollie because now she doesn't have to get like a part-time job to pay for fucking karate classes.
Oh God.
Part-time job.
You're
What are
already
you
a
gonna
part-time
do?
student. Okay, Dakota, you
I
can't do
probably-
school,
I-
be a
I-
kindred.
How are you gonna challenge the Camarilla when you're delivering
Skateboard
Domino's?
pizza delivery for sure. Will do. The other option would be like
You've got school too,
I could
Dakota.
work at the pawn shop.
Oh my
Good.
God.
You got practice as an enforcer.
The point
you
of the
know?
matter is, Ollie Sugar Daddy over here is gonna make sure that everybody's karate classes are paid for.
Yeah, nice
Can-
and easy that way.
When this show is over, can we please have a side hustle where it's actually us maintaining regular jobs and
That'd be
Dakota has a,
hilarious.
a repossession
the worst
service?
timeline of SOS.
I actually love that.
Dakota's repossession service, and people are like, listen, you ain't taking my car.
I'd
Ain't
like
happening."
to. Yeah, I was going to say I'd either be a bounty hunter or I'd serve papers.
Good Lord. You all wake up and it was just a dream and you're going back to your normal day jobs.
I know. What's a domestic life like?
Right? Yeah.
Tell me.
What would be
Yeah.
your human lives be like?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not saying I'm having maternal instincts or anything. I guess I'm just saying, like, I want the kid to be able to protect herself. And if she goes crawling back to that pack, they're going to eat her alive. So I thought maybe she could put a...
No, it's a good idea. I think that's... I really do think that's a good idea for the kid. And I feel you a little bit when I saw that Nelson, that Saito was raising a little boy himself, it made me feel like a kind of responsible.
Dakota,
I could be his
watch
mother.
as Ava continues to speak about Nelson. The excitement, the happiness, is overwhelming and bubbling forth from Ava about this.
I'm also clutching his notebook.
Yeah.
While I'm talking about this.
Oh God.
Okay.
As
weird as
Dakota,
all of this is.
Dakota, you would recognize that she gets excited and she brings up the notebook. That's the simple black notebook that Saito carried everywhere with him.
Are you carrying his diary around?
Oh yeah, she's got it bad.
I'm clutching it.
Well, you know what? At least if you're having this kind of maternal instinct towards Nelson, you won't sleep with him.
Right? What would Saito think of that?
This glass just keeps half filling itself. I love it.
I guess. Look, okay, clearly mine and Ava's internal clocks are ticking this week. So,
I just realized it's wild how accurate that is, though. Like, you were like, yes, lonely puppy will take you in. And then you turn to me and it's like, okay, I'll get you a job and house you. That's perfect. I know my role in this relationship.
You know what, Ollie? We appreciate your, the
appreciate
structure
you,
your
Ollie.
life has to allow us to have nice things.
Fantastic.
Thanks,
All right.
On that, then, Ollie and the crew split apart as Dakota and Ava begin to make their way down to the pawn shop. But Ollie, we see slip under a nearby manhole cover as he gently lowers it back down, and our vision kind of cuts through the asphalt as he drops down to a nearby area with a little splash as the sewer water collected by the bottom meets his feet. It doesn't take too long down this simple walkway before we see Ollie tracing his fingertips along a wall where they get hooked on a very small indentation. His finger wedges its way in, and with a couple of difficult shoves, it gives way. Sliding out of place, not on any hinges. It's just a slab of concrete that only those with a particular strength could move in the first place. And as it pushes open and the darkness swallows him, the concrete slab slides back up. Our vision stays on the outside as we watch the seams become seamless, and we hear muted footsteps very quickly vanish into silence. And as we slow zoom on this piece of concrete, we cut to black. And we'll take our break here, as it's just about the 2-hour mark or so. And we'll be back in about 10 or so minutes. Go grab a drink, go to the bathroom. We got a whole other 2 hours to go when we get back.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Hope you had a nice break. Hope you drank some water. Hydrate. Don't want to get no kidney stones. This is coffee, by the way. We are going to jump right back into it. Before we do, mid-show shill. Hey, thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you for the gift bomb, Mr. B Grizzly. I saw you gift bombed us. I know we've got, we're almost at, we've got a full shadow bar plus like 60 extra bucks. We're almost close to 2. Don't you worry. They're coming. And yeah, if you guys want to support us and just kind of help out the show, subscribing and all that stuff is is huge for the show. It goes a long way into taking care of SOS. And then if you just want to support us in general and all the things that we do, Vampire and World of Darkness, you can do that over at patreon.com/podbynight, where you get some cool extra stuff, some few secret rooms in the Discord, cool colored name, and you just directly become, you're our lifeblood. So you support us in a way that really nowhere else can. But we've got a Snitch to go see, I believe. So let's just dive back in and jump back into the game. As our vision fades back in after a small break, we can just hear rhythmic, steady footsteps echoing through a long, blasé, plain concrete tunnel. One that Ollie found himself in after squeezing through some tight areas and climbing over a few rocks. You're greeted with a hallway that seems to find its way to you one way or another. You know how this works, especially trying to get to the place that you are. Getting there is never the same path twice, and sometimes when you've tried to get there, you couldn't even find it. On this night, you're not entirely sure how long you walk these plain concrete halls. Much like before, time down here feels different, feels off. Sometimes it feels like you've been down here merely an hour, and when you arise, the night is almost over. Other times, you feel like you're stuck in here for nights, and only a few hours have passed. As Ollie ruminates to himself, striding with a upright posture, hands in his pockets, eventually, that hallway gives way. The path that you're walking, Ollie, concrete, gives way to a rough, dead grass and dirt. As you step upon it, the blades of grass that are dried crunch under your foot, untouched. Well, now for about 2 years. Because as you step off and into that dead area, and your gaze comes from the ground and up, ours follows. And as the camera moves upward, we see a old brick church sat in a courtyard littered with bones, dead grass, and evidence of a struggle from decades or a century ago. And now, before you, that church stands, relatively dilapidated, forgotten, and ignored. You do not see anybody immediately. However, you are just stepping into the courtyard area.
I'll wait a moment to allow this place to sort of announce my visit. It has a way of communicating with its creator, or at least the one holding it.
As you stand on the grass for a few moments, perhaps a few minutes, the front door to the church does creak inward.
I'll accept the invitation.
And Ollie wordlessly and with confidence strides across the field, stepping across skulls and femurs and what other human bones still lay about. There's only a couple of stairs, rather large and brick. And as you take those couple of stairs up and step into the dark church, the door quietly shuts behind you. But it is no supernatural force that does so. As Ollie looks over his shoulder, there, closing the church door, hunched and in his rather drab clothing, his bald head and long pointed ears, is Snitch. The door clatters shut and reverberates in this open chapel. The pews are, as you remember them, most of them still around, but dirty, broken, and the ones that are missing definitely pull your eye in that direction. Not exactly the most beautiful sight in the world, but still, a church is a church, and there's still a draw and an awe to it. Snitch doesn't say anything. As he shuts the door, he walks calmly past you.
If he doesn't look back, I'll follow.
And he doesn't. And as you walk merely a few steps behind him, do you break the silence or no?
The invitation was there, but there hasn't quite been an invitation to speak.
Snitch moves past the altar, off to a door on the left that leads into what was once the considered the priest's office, where they would store their books and their unblessed Eucharist, tubs of them that would once be there. An old wooden desk would have been in the back corner. You can still see the indents on the rug where it once lay. But now it's mostly barren. A few newspaper clippings strewn about here or there, a few books that are just different versions of the Bible. But as Snitch walks in and you follow, eventually he will stop. He won't turn to you. What can I do for you, Mr. Hopkins?
It's been a little while, Snitch. You doing okay? You've been down here for a minute. Nobody's seen you or heard from you.
Those that need to see me. I'm fine. On that, he will slowly turn and face you. Is that all this is? A courtesy call?
Less than that. I know that you have eyes and ears on the street. Most Nos do, but your reach seems to span a bit further than others.
As you speak, his eyes only merely glanced at yours before he looks down. As you talk to him, he reaches into an inner pocket of this long jacket and he pulls out a small cube of what looks to be like cheese. And in the other hand, crawling out from underneath his sleeve onto the palm of his hand, is a rat. And he reaches up with the cheese and feeds the rat as you continue to speak.
Are you aware of the hunter influence in Chicago these days?
He nods, but doesn't say anything.
Have you had eyes on any new hunters that have come in?
Hunters come and go, Mr. Hopkins.
Okay, well, in an effort to not mince words, a new hunter has come in, and I wanted to inform you because I don't know what they're capable of. And I say that because it was the hunter that had abducted my son.
Again, Snitch is old hat at this. No emotions give way to how he feels. He doesn't react to this. He just watches the rat finish the cheese before it climbs back under his sleeve, and he looks back up to you. So is this about revenge for you?
I don't know what it is. I can't lie. Snitch, part of me is worried. I've had my run-ins with hunters, but when I last talked to Rowan, before everything happened, and he talked about Layla, he said that she wasn't like every other hunter, and she did more than words. That she commanded something, and I've never seen a hunter. Well, scratch that. I had one. He started chanting something, and it made me fucking mad. Drove me off a building. Before I got back my senses, and I drove him into a car. Split his body in half. But I don't think Layla's like the rest of the chumps. There's something else there, and I don't know, and I need to know what you might know. If not for me, then for the people I'm trying to protect.
He takes all of this in, calmly stares at you as you do so. So am I to give you a schoolboy lesson on the different kinds of hunters you could run into, Mr. Hopkins?
I consider it a bit of a trade. I bring you information of a deadly hunter that is hunting with ferocity, that has no care for those alive around them, that drew a human bomb into an alley next to the pub.
Sounds like a fanatic.
It was my thought as well. Rowan never lied. May have manipulated. He may have been manipulated. But he'd have nothing to gain from lying about this before his death.
And this is, you believe, to be different than those who speak the word of God. There are those, when they speak God's word, there is something behind it that we fear. You believe it to be different than that.
A hunter would never walk into my bar. Would never knowing full well what I am, what I'm capable of. Knowing of Ava Heloise and of Dakota. She came in alone. Snitch, she walked into my bar. She sat down. She tempted me, damned me for being a beast, drank my alcohol, made herself a patron.
So either she's extraordinarily cocky, which will be her death, or you believe Rowan's words hold truth.
Well, we got to start believing in something, right? At one point, I didn't exactly believe in vampires and werewolves. Yet here I am. Here we are.
If it is more than the word of God that fears you from her, and she doesn't belong to any government branch that you're aware of, working independently. He turns, walks to one of the shelves that are still lingering on the wall, pulls down one of the Bibles, flips through it a few times. It's hard to tell where he's at, though it's somewhere in the center. Takes a deep breath almost instinctively before he closes it and turns back to you. I have only ever encountered one before. A century ago or more now. Rumors and whispers amongst the Nas have at least clarified that what I encountered was real. We've come to call them, rather he would go, we've come to call him imbued. It is a impossible thing to describe as we lack the knowledge. We do not know what causes it, or what abilities or talents they carry. Only that they are a step away from your bread and butter.
But they just die like everyone else, right? They don't pop back up after they're decapitated.
They are still mortal.
Huh. She knows about me. She knows about Ava and Dakota. Yeah, I get it. Dakota is called the Loud Ones. And we're not the only ones that she knows about. And she's looking. Snitch, she's looking. And I know that we are not her first run. She's a fucking book series named after her. I thought it was a work of fiction. It's old, Snitch.
I have a question for you first, Mr. Hopkins.
Always.
Where do your loyalties lie?
Feels very open-ended.
It should be very simple. Governments come and go. The Camarilla will rise and it will fall eventually. Something will take its place. But the Nosferatu are always and forever. We survive. Where do your loyalties lie, Mr. Hopkins?
I've always cared for the Nos.
I have not said you do not. But there is a difference between caring for something and cherishing something. I cherish who we are. Chicago, New York, LA, Madison. Nothing can exist without us there. We are needed.
Then you ask what I'm loyal to? I'm loyal to Chicago. Even without an institution, Snitch. without the Camarilla, without the Anarchs, the babies that they are, without Vanessa and her little mountain that she sits upon. I was born here. I died here. And yet I continue to persist. Chicago is the only home I've ever known. And the people that rest here, or try to rest here, I cherish them. I cherish the people that are willing to look after me. You, for instance, have gone through great lengths to share things with me and care for me when nobody else did. But I cherish you. In his own little fucked up way, I cherish Rudy. I cherish Ava and Dakota, because even if they've caused me loads of problems, they cared for me when I couldn't care for me. Now, I'll be honest with you, and it's no surprise. Outside of you, not many Nos talk to me. I get it. They think that I'm masquerading, pretending to be something I'm not. But I'm Oliver fucking Hopkins. I'm not just a sewer rat. And I'm not some beat suit. I'm a survivor, Snitch.
On that, we both agree. I'm not sure I can give you any words of comfort beyond mere assumptions on who Layla is. She is a danger, certainly, and I've had word that there are other hunters running on the streets.
There are.
Details are sparse. Beyond the paperwork of the government switch, Mr. Pink, I'm aware, is no longer here.
No, there's a new cell. It's replaced him, led by a young one, a little runaway by the name of Scarlet.
A lot to prove in her ambition, but her record holds. Be wary of that one. Don't underestimate her.
It's what's kept me alive this far. I don't underestimate anybody that I come across. And I tend to win them over with gifts. Everybody likes chocolate, Snitch. Even the dead ones.
And of Artie.
Yeah. Still trying to figure out his bag. He's lost. He's out of time. He doesn't even know what he's doing anymore.
And I'm sure he holds no love for me.
No. No. And he gave me the rundown on why.
I'm sure I'm
But-
incredibly biased and one-sided one. But
Of course. Of course. Nobody. Snitch history is told by victors.
Mr. Hopkins, Artie is a Ventru.
Yes. I know.
Eventually, the Ventru in him will win out. If he finds an opportunity to throw you under the bus, to give him a leg up, I imagine he will.
I've expected as such. But here's the thing. None of the other Venture want him. I brought it up. I told Jackson, and he doesn't want him.
Well, Mr. Jackson, he understands. But those who are not Mr. Jackson, how valuable do you believe 2 years of living in the Lights Out pub would be to somebody else? I am
Well-
not posing a philosophical question to weigh your loyalties to him.
No, I understand. I suppose it's as valuable as living there for 15 years.
You should return him here.
Can I ask why? And have your honest opinion? Because Snitch, I'm not judging you for the things that you've done in the past. You did it for the Nas. Or you did it for Max. Whatever the case is, you did it and you had your reasons, and still you stand. That's what really matters. We all do dirty things. None of our hands are clean.
Artie was a fool and threw himself behind the wrong person. As you said, Nosferatu first. And Max was much more willing to keep us close. With us by his side, he had a clear path to the throne. Max and his crew, or rather, Artie and his crew, had they succeeded, Chicago would not stand as it is now. I fear it would belong to the Anarchs, much like LA.
You felt that he was that much of a threat, or that someone he ran with was a threat?
He shakes his head. I think he's that much of a fool. Promises of power and position go a long way to sway those of blue blood.
I get what you're saying. I do. But if what you say is absolutely true, and if he is as much as a fool as you presume he is, then Artie's going to catch his own case again. He had his opportunity, and, well, let's be honest, Snitch. I wouldn't want to go against you. And what's he going to do if he finds his way down in this place? He's just going to get lost. He hasn't been taught the tricks. And I'm not going to guide him here, not willingly.
Watch your back.
I'm going to cut him free soon. I'm just giving him a place to lay his head.
He nods to that, but doesn't verbally reply.
Let me ask you something, Snitch. When are you getting out?
Out of what?
This. Machinations of your own prison. Everything you set up, you're not happy. You're just playing the game.
I am attempting to put the genie back in the bottle. So the saying goes.
And the genie is?
The lupine.
Yeah. Well, there's no secret that lupine have become a bit more organized lately.
Problematically so.
They have no loyalties to Chicago, Snitch. You know why they're here. They're not staying here because of you. They're staying here because everybody is stuck here. We're stuck in this. It's like someone pulled the plunger on the tub. In the drain, the water's just spinning and spinning and spinning. We're stuck here because of that. Our water is turbulent and spinning, and they're caught up in it.
A little over 100 years ago, the city saw a war fought over the course of a week. Some believe the war was put to rest. It was only put to sleep. I can hear the drums of war in the distance again, and I don't want it to happen, Mr. Hopkins. It could very well mean the end of our kind as we know it in Chicago. I have spent my past few years securing this place better than it had been. I am keeper of this. I made a mistake and now I must fix it. It was my grandest hope that one day you may take my place down here.
I got that feeling.
I have let go of that hope.
Why?
It is not what you desire.
You're shackled here.
Harsh term.
You can say that you're not, but you are. You are a warden. You're an inmate in your own prison, Snitch.
It is my role. For now. Lest things change.
And let me ask you, is anyone down there now?
Of course.
Anyone that anybody cares about?
None that you would.
But someone that you do.
Everybody cares about someone.
I don't know, I met a few. There's this real rude-ass Nas upstairs. Guy doesn't like anybody. Either way, they're stuck. They're not going to get out. Want to take a night on the town. Surely even you cut a little rug from time to time.
I appreciate the offer, Mr. Hopkins, but I have a busy night here. It is good to see your face again, however.
Snitch. I'm not giving up on this place, and I'm not giving up on you. And I don't even know what I desire. And like I said, born here, died here, unlife here. I'm an institution, not going anywhere.
What are you underneath that, Mr. Hopkins?
Honestly, I'm lonely.
Because the thing that you desire was that you never had to live this life. You will never be satisfied.
I've succeeded at more in my own life than I ever did in my life.
And yet you are lonely.
And it's lonely when everything that's warm withers and fades.
Again, we agree. But this is our burden.
It is. It is. Thank you, Snitch. Thank you for meeting with me, and thank you for inviting me here. I know my way around enough. It'll take me a little while, but I can make my way back here. And I'll come check on you again soon.
You make interesting moves on the surface. I don't know which way the wind is going to blow. But be on the side that keeps your clan safe.
I will. At the very least, I'm going to try.
If there ever was an honorable Ventru, Mr. Jackson is as close as you can get. But his tongue is still as sharp as a knife.
Well, as much as you say about family, maybe you can try to convince the others to come say hello once in a while. I'm starting to feel a little left out. Nobody wants to play with me.
Mr. Hopkins, I would suggest you venture down into the Nosferatu sewers more often. See how your brothers and sisters live. How Chicago maintains its lines of communication. Nosferatu are necessary, even if everyone wishes we were dead.
Yeah, I will make my way around. I'll see Flick. He's never far. And I'm still paying for breaking his lighter.
I have Flick on something tonight, but perhaps soon.
Noted. All right.
Last thing, Mr. Hopkins. Just remember, perhaps good lesson for the three of you. Your past always returns.
Yeah, I've discovered.
It was good to see your face, Mr. Hopkins.
Likewise, Snitch. And you need to get a little sun. You're losing a lot of color, man. Come on.
He gives a polite wave at that, but not even a smirk, as he typically doesn't, and shuffles back to work, sorting papers very quickly over on a desk nearby.
I'll let myself out.
And Ollie makes his way out the labyrinth, slowly. But once he passes through the simple concrete tunnel, It seems only a few steps before on your left-hand side, a small opening gives itself away. The place you crawled out of, much closer than it was. And we watch Ollie climb on through. And you're going to meet the other two at the pawn shop, correct? Did you two go get the bomb? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the plan.
It was a very simple retrieval. The morgue attendant had no wish to converse with you, only that you were sent by Ollie, which means they had a package for you. It was wrapped in a plain brown box and heavily taped up. They hand it to you. Don't say a word. Don't ask for your names. And simply turn and walk away. Before long, you arrive at the pawn shop, and you have some time before Ollie arrives. I guess, as always, the question is, does Dakota and Ava feel like having a conversation, or do we want to push forward to when Ollie arrives?
I got nothing.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I mean, I spilled my beans.
I was going to say, we had our talk earlier.
You never know. It doesn't take long, maybe another 15 minutes of you hanging out behind the pawn shop before a sewer grate nearby gets slid open. You see Ollie hoist himself up effortlessly, gently place the grate back down, and join you. They have a plain package in their hands.
I see that you made it to the mortuary.
Yeah, real talkers they are.
Yeah, they keep it silent. It's a side hustle that they don't have to report because it's all in cash.
Easy enough. So let's go get this thing checked out.
Yeah, no, just bear in mind, the person, they're eccentric.
Oh,
Just
they've
know.
met the pawn person
Okay.
already.
Oh yeah, I buy from her regularly.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So with a rapid knock at the back, you hear in the background, coming, and some shuffling. You hear moving, and something sounds like it fell over and glass broke. You hear some, what is this? You assume is a curse word being thrown out before you hear a deadbolt, chunk, a chain lock, chunk, and the lock on the door in the back click, and she opens it just about a crack, and you see that woman in her mid to late 60s with a cigarette hanging from her lips, a t-shirt of also a band that is hard to see because it's so faded, but there's something on there. And she's wearing just sweatpants down to very, very well-worn slippers
What was her
on her
name?
feet. That's a good question.
She's on the sheet.
Fudge.
Oh,
Is she?
okay, open up the notes. Let's
Yeah,
open up the
she's on-
notes.
She's on the note sheet.
I forget what I
I
named
don't
her.
think she is.
I thought I saw her.
The pawn shop is listed, but I can't remember. Chat, anybody
Okay.
remember the lady's name?
Yeah, we'll see if Chad has it.
always comes through.
But we'll continue as
sure,
chat
sure.
maybe reminds us. And as the door opens a bit, she looks down with a cigarette, just kind of waggling up and down as she talks. The smoke is trailing off the tip of it, freshly lit. It looks like she's just like, yeah. What do you want? Hey, what's up, honey?
I've got a present for you.
I told you, you should get out of that business. But what do you got?
I hold up the box.
What's in the box? Better not be a dick. And she reaches forward.
Gentle.
You should probably tell her what it is.
She quickly puts
it's a surprise.
She quickly pops like the cigarette in her mouth. She's like, oh, hang on a second. And she goes and gets a knife and swings back out, and she flips open like just a big knife and hits the corners, and she just pulls it open. And she's like, oh, sweet mother of Jesus. Holy shit. Is that real? And she looks over to the three of you. Ollie, I'm assuming, is very visible. God damn. And wait a minute, you're running with him? And she points to Dakota and then points to Ollie.
We have run together. Yes.
You better watch this girl, or I'm going to fucking kill you if she gets killed.
Okay.
She should not be doing this right now. Do you understand? She's a young kid, and she's looking at guns and selling me.
She's a lot stronger than I am. I'm sorry. She calls the shots.
That being said, I was hoping...
What kind of grown-ass man hires a 16-year-old girl to do this kind of
Look,
thing?
I'm scared, and I get a little queasy of blood. It weirds me out.
Typical man. And she just pulls out the bomb, and she starts looking, and she puts the cigarette back in her mouth. Looks like the serial number's been scrubbed clean, so that's good. And
or bad.
it seems to be
we're hoping to maybe find out More information
Who?
about the person that put it together.
Where? Who?
Yeah.
What? Where?
I only know a few companies that make these things. Spend some time with it. Maybe I could do a little research and I can maybe catch you something, but not tonight.
That's okay. We thought we'd leave it with you. Remember, it's a gift.
Okay. Like permanently?
Yeah, you can keep it.
We have no.
We just need to know who's going to
use
deal.
For
And
store
probably-
credit, can we get some store credit for that?
She shrugs. Sure, you get some store credit. This is. I know one. Actually, I know two people who really like this. Well,
Oh, really?
Business is my own, not yours, little girl. And she puts it on a nearby shelf, like nonchalantly, as the box like wide open, as it's kind of like leaning on the outside of it. Well, come back in a few nights. Well, I know where.
That's wired to blow.
Yeah, I saw.
Okay. I just heard the clatter, the clash, boom, bang as you were unlocking a door.
Throws her to the
It's fine. I've used like at least 6 of those.
All right.
So, like, just
Yeah,
come
back
let us
in-
know what you find. How's the business doing?
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Great. Good. You let us know if you need something.
Oh yeah. I know who to go to.
We're
You
looking
look
out for
befuddled.
somebody.
Okay, well, I don't know. Who are you looking for? Maybe we can cash in that store credit right now.
It's an interested party. Somebody that likes this kind of thing.
Point to the bomb.
That doesn't really narrow it down, sweetheart.
I
I don't really make my business on the front end. It's
I
off the
think what
back
I'm
end.
saying is we're not looking for you to tell us where she is, just to be on the lookout for her. She
Girl?
calls herself Layla.
All right. She looks puzzled and she chews down that. I'll remember it, and I've never heard that name around here ever.
If she
I've done the details of what she looks like as well.
Yep. All
just in
right.
case
Well, I'll keep an
she
eye out
comes
for her.
into the shop.
Do I tell her you're looking for her?
No.
No.
Oh, I see.
Tell her whatever she needs and let me know.
So do business with the woman, but pass along a little information.
Yep.
Easy.
Yeah, money's good for sure, but you know what? Don't even come looking for us. We'll find you, and if she makes just drop a dime.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. Are you like the Godfather then?
Yeah, sure.
You
Let's
like
go
running
with that.
this whole thing. All right. I know who to put a bullet in if she ever ends up dead. Keep an eye on that girl. And she like,
I'm definitely allergic to lead, so be careful. Okay,
are you telling a joke right now?
I am.
Funny kid. Funny kid.
We'll leave you to
Oh.
it.
Yeah, I got business to take care of. I appreciate it, and I'll make sure this thing doesn't blow up. Don't worry. She actually will like turn. She'll pick up the box and she'll look it over and she'll go, ooh, and wiggle it back and forth a little bit and cackles to herself. All right, you kids have a good night. And then she just shuts the back door in your faces. Chunk.
Well, at least we keep good company.
I hope she doesn't blow up her own pawn shop. Truly.
Yeah, me either, because I don't have any more money to give her.
Yeah.
We
She's got
really
a lot
got to
of
set
Nazi
you
gold,
up
so
with some kind of,
I mean,
I don't know, investment.
Yeah, Dakota.
I get everything I need, but that being said, the theater was making money for a while. We just haven't had a concert in a bit.
Yes, and we
I
probably
can get everything I need. Comes and asks for karate money.
I said I would earn that. You offer karate money.
I'm just saying, if you had a little investment on the side, you wouldn't have to sweat that kind of thing.
We have a theater.
All
To be
right, and who's
honest,
working it?
Yeah, we should keep the theater also on the
Staffed?
DL for
you
a
want to
while.
actually hire some staff and like make it actually a theater?
So I had a.
That'd be doable.
I mean, it's got to make some money, right?
We
We dropped a
basically-
lot on at least
Yeah.
the
We-
wine and cheese.
We did invest a lot in it. We should probably watch that investment come to
'Cause
flourish a little
as
bit.
far as I'm aware, you really just use the theater occasionally for a show or
for
two.
private,
For
But you don't like
private
open the
events.
movie
Private
aspect. You don't
events.
use the bar.
But you know,
No.
Mathis.
Mhm.
I run back to the pawn shop door and I knock again.
So as you guys are walking away and having light conversation, she's like, hang on a second. And she turns around, skirts back up there. Ah, God damn it. Hang on. And you hear like more moving and much quicker this time around. The back door opens. What can I? Oh, God. Okay, what can I do for you?
I know. I'm bothering you again.
No, you're not. You
I
never
know,
bother
I
me.
know you can get your hands on a few rare things.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Film. Like not camera film, like old films. You know anybody that deals them in town?
Like, you talking like
Movies.
movies?
Yeah.
Like VHS movies?
No, not like film reels.
Oh, you're looking for the real deal? I know a guy who knows a guy. Take me a little bit. I'm not quite sure what their selection. I never really went looking for that kind of thing, but I could.
I could use a hookup. We might be investing in the theater. I thought maybe like, a hipster vintage vibe might make more money than a Blockbusters.
If he's telling you that he's letting you be an equal partner in that thing, I'm telling you right now he's lying to you.
Look,
I'm looking out for you, sister.
Look, between me and you, he's actually not the boss, it's the pretty lady.
That makes a whole lot more sense. Even less trustworthy.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, I started in high school when I beat the shit out of the cheerleader captain.
And now you're running.
Just got to put them in their place. You know what I mean?
Oh, don't I? About those movies, though, you let me know.
Oh, yeah. I'll put out a word tonight. Probably hear back in a couple of days.
Okay.
And when you guys come find me again, I'll probably have something for you.
Okay.
Or I won't.
We'll
find out.
And, be nice to Ollie. He's really not bad.
Is that his name? All right. I'll be nice to Ollie.
Okay. I turn and close the door myself this time.
Yeah. You just like, you close the door.
Her tone.
And hustle our way back down.
Oh my god.
Rejoining the other two.
Okay. So, what does Chicago have more than vampires?
Hipsters.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that was
Oliver.
a good guess.
It has
wow.
it has hipsters on every block, and what do hipsters love?
IPAs.
Yes, we should get some of those for the wine and cheese bar.
Beanies.
Beanies, and vintage bullshit.
Flannel.
Vintage bullshit.
They love vintage bullshit.
Hey, Ollie, have you been hanging out with hipsters? Pretty good
No, I do get kind of bored, and I like to people watch.
Me too. So I'm just saying, why don't we capitalize on all this hipster money, which we know they have because they buy clothes with holes already in them, and we get a bunch of vintage movies, some hipster bullshit, and we run the stuff the other theaters in town aren't running.
Not a bad idea. If we want to attract that kind of crowd, then I suppose, yeah.
And we can sell them hipster bullshit and cheesecake.
It will kind of lower the class of the place, but they love
know.
cheese boards too.
There you go, a little charcuterie or whatever.
But so do, rich people.
Well, maybe
I guess
we have
hipsters are technically rich people.
They are. They just don't want people to know it.
They don't
Like
want
another
people to
group.
know.
Oh my god! I just realized they're like clans.
Yeah.
Are hipsters like the Nosferatu of rich people?
I guess.
Oh no!
I guess what I'm saying is, on the
Oh,
occasion,
no, I hate this.
we ought to do a Friday night throwback or something, and just bring in the hipster dollars, and then Saturday night can be fancy night or something.
I suppose if that's what we want to do, have a hipster theater. We can.
I don't want
We
it.
let Baby Chorus play. What the fuck do you think they are?
I mean, it'd be kind of classy for what they are.
Nero's in it.
Oh
He's
my.
not hipster.
Okay, excuse me for making the wrong statement. My bad.
Nero can't be a hipster
Clearly,
because he was alive before hipsters were around.
Baby Chorus is the most class act band we've got.
Technically, they're the only band that's played there, right?
True.
Though Dot, you're going.
Fine. We'll take the theater. We'll add these vintage movies and make it, I'll have to redecorate and
Okay, give me Mathis. What one vintage movie you would love to have there?
I don't know. It needs to be like it's got to be like a cult classic.
I don't even know.
12 Angry Men.
Classic. We can get some.
Yeah, like, and I don't mean like black and white classic. I mean like it needs to have a cult following, like something like
God.
The cult movie of my era was like Boondock Saints.
Yeah, that was. I'm
That's not.
thinking
That would,
even
I mean,
earlier than that. Like,
if we really want to capitalize, we can bring the freaks out. There's one.
okay,
See, when I was a kid, I was brought to this show. Right, I didn't know what to expect. One of my buddies,
I know what you're about to say.
You got to come to the show. And when I got there, bunch of fucking freaks. They were all in spandex and leathers and straps. It took like 12 guys to hold me down, and they drew a red V on my forehead and
it's
lipstick.
like Edith's Club.
I was just thinking that. Which night is that?
They said I was a virgin, and then they made me watch. Tim Curry was in it, and he was in fishnets.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's kind of a good movie, but I really didn't like 12 Men Holding Me Down.
No, I was thinking, like, you know, like the movie with the kids that find the pirate ship, or like, what's that movie?
Goonies?
What's that movie?
That's a
with
fucking classic.
That's what I mean. Or like, what's the one with the kind of strangely attractive man with the tight pants and the crystal balls?
Labyrinth.
That one. You know, just
I don't want to know how I know that.
And we've already got one of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we do.
I vote we build on this kind of vintage 70s, 80s, you know.
Perhaps, yes. Yes.
Oh yeah, you know, and we could show weird horror movies with Tim Curry in tights.
Well, hold on now. It's actually a must watch. You would fucking love it.
Tim Curry in
love
tights.
it. No, the whole movie. It's weird as hell. They do this crazy dance called Time Warp. You got to see it.
Well, enlightening as that might be, she said she'd do her best. She had a hookup, maybe somebody that has a private collection we could start buying from or renting from, be cheaper.
I was just thinking in chat. Sorry, my mind was going to reap out the genetic opera.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If we're talking, we want to bring in some interesting people.
Laundry comes in a little glass vial.
A little glass vial.
A little glass vial.
I was just listening to this.
So yeah, you know, that could be. I will say this though, we're gonna probably need to hire people.
Yes, we are.
So
I could work on that.
Okay.
I know some kids at the university that are looking for jobs.
I've never had an honest job.
If you want to also
No, I mean, I wouldn't know where to begin. I don't even know how to apply for a job.
Oh, well, I can. I'm sure there's
Dakota,
some broke college students.
You legit are enrolled in college.
I mean,
how many of your peers would love to work in something like that?
I mean,
that's
what Ava was saying. We could get some college kids.
My herd is at the same school that Dakota goes to.
As for legitimately enrolled, I crashed Cretius's classes.
Well, you're still alive. That's a good sign.
Yeah, well, so far so good. He's a shithead though. He has a lot of striking opinions. Okay,
yeah,
I dig it.
Checks out.
We should start running some. We got to make more money.
Okay, no, let's scratch that. You got to make more money.
Okay, so Dakota has to make more money. The theater is sitting right here.
Gestures as you both all arrive right to it.
I've got plenty of my own things going on. I mean, I can keep investing, but well, I mean, it'd be nice to see this place kind of roll through. But who am I kidding, right? I only brought all this investment here so I could give you guys something that wasn't the Lights Out pub.
Well, I appreciate that. Not that I don't like Lights Out. It's great.
Wits awareness, please.
Oh, no.
All of us?
Yep.
Is that like a... Okay.
Oh, why is this so slow? Oh, I have a dice roller thingy on, so it's very slow. Oh god. Okay.
I rolled a 1.
Only Ava, actually, as you're having conversation outside the theater, maybe you're getting ready to walk into it. As Dakota, as you're all kind of chatting, Ava, your attention is drawn beyond at the end of the block. Something kind of just like out of the corner of your eye seemed to catch your eye, and as you look up, you see a man walking this way. As he continues to stride closer, a familiar one. It was the man you saw in the hospital. Genghis.
I tug at Ollie's shirt for a minute.
Ava very subtly kind of pulls on your shirt and gestures, and as you turn, you see making his way over.
And I point very subtly.
Dakota will obviously look over.
Point.
Yeah, he's over there. Dakota hasn't seen Genghis, right? Never seen him before.
I don't know.
No, I
don't think
I told
so.
her
Mm-mm.
told her about him.
Yeah, I told her about him, but
But
this is the
I
first
don't
time she's laying
know
eyes on him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's rather casually strolling in this general direction.
Is this like one of those we need to be worried about boyfriends, Ava?
This is more of a might need to be worried about anarchs.
Oh. I'll step
As he gets
forward.
Sure. As you step forward and as he gets close, he pulls a hand out of his pocket and gives a very casual wave, and strides his way over. So you must be Dakota, and that leaves you to be Ava.
All of us.
Right? Wrong?
Yeah,
Good to
you got
officially
it.
meet the loud ones, I believe you call yourselves.
And you must be.
My apologies, Genghis. And he reaches his hand forward to shake yours.
I'll shake
Ava
it.
takes it.
Oh, I'll let Ava
Ava
take
takes it first.
Yeah. Ava takes it as he shakes your hand, and would go to shake Dakota's.
Yeah, I'll shake his hand.
And it's good to see you again, old friend. And he pats you on the, like, claps you on the shoulder.
Genghis, how you doing?
Oh, good. Sorry, I'm not here for any lighthearted conversation. I would love to speak with you, though. This area of town has, come around quite a bit, and I've been thinking about investing in the area myself. Seeing that we're already budding partners, figure maybe we could go in over here. We could talk a bit more. I could flush a little bit more money in your direction, and we really make that partnership between us flourish.
Why don't we take business inside?
Would love to.
Ava, I
didn't
imagine
wanna-
there's a bottle of wine waiting.
Of course. I'll get it.
He smiles very politely, and I get a good look at him. He's got a completely shaven head with tattoos that crawl down his sides. He wears a kind of a tank top with, again, tattoos on all sides, some tribal ones and so on. What you would consider, I guess, a very almost cliche-looking biker.
Got it.
Did you lead him into the theater? As he walks in, and he's probably not the last one to walk in, but maybe second or third. And as he walks in, he just looks around, just like with a whistle, just like, this place looks way better than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, well, when you scrub the gross off the walls.
I could see why you all took a relatively garbage theater and turned it into really nice garbage.
Swank enough gets the job done.
And budding business that can't be ignored. So, yeah, I would love to go in. Maybe put a little money down toward the theater. I was thinking initially there's a store about 3 buildings down here. I don't know if you know it, but I was thinking about buying it out, honestly, and just maybe being able to bring some more money in that way. Just, after our conversation at the hospital, it just got my gears turning. And there just seemed to be endless opportunity to work with a Nosferatu who wishes he was a Ventru.
Well, you are mistaken. And that's mildly offensive, depending on whom it's coming from.
Yeah, you're right. Making wild assumptions is extraordinarily offensive.
Well,
It is, in fact. Also, do you know whose territory this is?
I'm imagining yours.
Yes.
Yeah, Camarilla.
You know how important that
yeah,
is
right.
to announce your arrival in a territory?
I walked right to your doorstep.
Certainly did. Let's keep it that way.
Of course,
Now-
I would never break the traditions.
Genghis, I have no qualms with you investing. Not at all. But we leave our clans, we leave our backing of Camarilla and Anarch, all that bullshit at the door. Money is money, Genghis.
On that, we can agree. Want one? And he holds forward like a cigarette box,
thanks.
popping one out, and as he
I'll
grabs one,
smoke.
he gestures to Dakota and Ava as well.
all
I
right.
bring 4 glasses of wine to the table for everybody.
I'm technically underage.
Wouldn't want to break the law.
So, since I didn't have the great opportunity of speaking with you at the hospital, Genghis.
Oh, I'm surprised your coterie partner didn't inform you. As I was there, I was...
They told me they spoke to you, but I haven't had the chance to really speak to you personally.
I'll lay it on the line very easy for you. And that hospital hasn't had a true owner for a few years. The previous owner just kind of mysteriously disappeared. Been falling apart, desperately in need of some funding before it closed. And I had been talking with the manager for quite a while at this point about putting some money in, bringing the hospital back up to code, taking care of the people who need to be taken care of. And lo and behold, as I'm talking to the manager about closing the deal, who steps out and offers to partner himself with me other than Mr. Oliver Hopkins, the Nosferatu in Venture Territory himself. Like a gentleman.
Now, my question is, why, oh why, would you be trying to buy territory in a territory that you know is not going to sell to you?
Because it's open territory. It's butted up right against Anarch, and the previous owner is gone. Therefore, he can squat as long as he wants and claim it. That's how we took hold of that church.
And I don't see none of your Camarilla goons walking around there trying to buy the place up. So I figure I'd be a good Samaritan, offer a helping hand.
And where do your interests lie in the hospital?
I just told you. To bring a sense of peace back to that part of town that was lost when dear old, and God rest his soul, Saito disappeared.
And you plan to bring peace by buying a hospital?
I just want to fund it, make sure it has the lights on at least, half the lights in there aren't even on anymore. I mean, Mr. Hopkins can tell you that place is falling apart.
Well, of course. That's why we were there, Dakota. We were there trying to see if the situation needed to be benefited whatsoever, because it doesn't matter who owns it. If it's a Nosferatu, a gangrel, a shitty Bruja, doesn't matter.
That's rude, Mr. Hopkins.
Well, forgive me for my perceived notions and accusation. Wouldn't want to just go wildly throwing those about, would we?
Okay.
No, wouldn't want to do that.
It is currently unclaimed, which means you have every right to claim it.
Well, now looks like it's going to be shared territory if Mr. Hopkins is fully intent on putting some of his own dollar forward.
Honestly, in that moment, I was trying to be your wingman, Genghis. Hand on Bible right here. If the manager, the general operator of the facility, believes that multiple parties are interested, they are more likely to immediately leap at the perfect buyer. And if you have been investing in such a place yourself, then you understand as such.
And that's why I'm here to offer my extra hard-earned money to do the very same for this block.
As kind as your gesture is, we already have an investor for this block.
Oh, well, other than Mr. Hopkins, I imagine it must be somebody within the Camarilla.
Private investor, and they are sought highly for a myriad of reasons, but they wish to go unnamed.
I respect a person's privacy. Well, if it's a hard no, then I'll take my leave. I wouldn't want to take up any more of your time.
I can't imagine that kind of investment in a facility as large as the hospital is going to be inexpensive.
I imagine not. Much like you, Mr. Hopkins, I'm a man of many means.
Good. We like to hear that around here.
Now, Mathis, for my knowledge, this hospital is actually properly in Anarch territory.
It is on the line.
It's bordering. It's literally like
it's literally on the
half
border.
And half, I guess. Yeah.
Like what you would consider the border line. It's sat on top of it.
Yep.
This is not a hospital anybody had ever been to until this last episode. It was not a hospital other than Saito. I remember as the Anarchs, when Saito died and all the Anarchs fell, Camarilla pushed their boundaries forward.
Right.
So it was once part of Anarch territory. Now it sits on the line that is just openly disputed.
Well, I imagine having Ollie involved in the investment will quell some Camarilla concern.
I wasn't aware there was any Camarilla concern about the hospital, but you're probably right.
It technically sits between territories, if I'm correct, on the new line for the Camarilla.
You are correct.
I don't.
You got to understand the Anarchs in our weakened state. We need to do everything we can to at least shore up our defenses, not to get squashed on by a bigger foot.
Of course, and we aren't one to punch down. We want to see our brothers and sisters climb back to a position that they deserve. So, Genghis, I honestly mean no slight. I promise that was not the case.
No slight taken then. perhaps we should talk another night then. But for right now, are we sitting on a no with my current investment offer here?
Not on
Just
this
as-
block, unfortunately.
Just as I am sitting on a no and investing in the hospital. But if you would like to mend some ties between the Anarch and the Camarilla, and you find yourself in a position where you're climbing to the top of that board, I would be interested, man to man, in working with you further, just as we discussed previously.
I'll keep that in mind. And next time you host one of your shows out here, I would love to attend. I've heard it's quite an exciting night out.
We would be happy to. I'll hand deliver the invite myself.
Such hospitality.
That's what we do around here.
Well, I appreciate my time with all three of you. It was great to meet. Well, I'm try that again. It was great to meet the other two of the loud ones coterie. You know, I heard there was once four. R.I.P. God rest his soul. Have a good rest of your evening, and I hope to hear from you again, Mr. Hopkins.
I'm
And he
sure
gives
you
a
will,
wave
Genghis.
to Dakota, and then gives a wide smile and a wave to Ava. And he does go to leave unless you stop him.
I won't.
Door opens, shuts, and you can hear him like whistling a tune quietly to himself as the door.
Well, I don't
Closes.
trust that asshole.
No.
What a guy. Waltzing right in, trying to.
Well, I
some-
appreciate the partnership mentality, but it's very clear he's trying to move in and expand their territory.
Yeah, but not the best way to do it, if you ask me.
Genghis has, one, a chip on his shoulder, but two, he's not wrong. The Anarch's in an extremely weakened state, and they have to make investments in big plays. I can't blame him, but he's doing it the wrong way. And I just
You know
had to,
what?
in that moment, kill him with kindness.
I'm learning how to kill things with kindness. I was nice, but I would say we let him buy the hospital. Let him dump
Intend
all-
to.
Mid-sentence,
Damn it.
the front door swings back open.
Oh,
Ow!
God, now who?
No, it's him again. It's
Oh,
Genghis
shit.
again. I forgot to pass on a message to you, Mr. Hopkins. I'm sorry for barging in everybody. But
Mid talking about him.
oh, what was her name? That's right. So it was such a message. Somebody named, I believe her name was tip of my tongue. Emmy said she was looking for you. I don't know if you know the name, but
Yeah, where did you see Emmy?
oh, I didn't get to see her. She sent one of her goons. She always sends one of her goons.
Yeah. And what
Just one
exactly
thing.
did she say?
Let Oliver Hopkins know that she likes what you're doing.
And pass that word back to the goon if you see him again, that she can come see herself.
Oh, absolutely. I've never met her face to face before. She tends to stay very private.
She's a manic 8-year-old. It's a fucking lunatic. Of course you won't see her.
He actually like takes that and he's like, now that I didn't know. Have a good night. And he actually turns and leaves again for the second time.
As much as
There's
I
like maybe a moment of like waiting to see if he's going to open the door a third time, and then he doesn't.
As much as I'd like to take his money in our current situation, I refuse. And I think
We lost you.
And you think.
and I think
Yes.
There we go.
that we should let him buy the hospital, dump all of his money into it. That way, if the cam gives pushback and takes it back from him, he's lost his investment. If he gets to keep it, great. Maybe they don't care about it at all.
I see no qualms with him buying the hospital. Truly.
In fact, my hope is that since one of our thin bloods tends to like it, maybe a few more, he might be willing to open the door for the occasional one that needs a place to stay before we can help them out.
It was Saito's venture, and he was an Anarch, so he might be more keen to help.
Oh,
Is Ollie present right now, or is he
Ollie's
mentally
disassociating.
elsewhere right now?
Dis-
Ollie's
Disassociating.
so checked out.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if
He's
that's
just
just
like-
Bub or if
He
that's
hears,
Ollie.
he hears the noise. he doesn't hear the words.
Maybe even like as Dakota turns to Ollie, he's not looking at you. He hasn't like moved as he's gazing out into the wall.
Ollie.
Snap.
What?
Are you really going to go into business with this guy?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Good to know. Are you thinking about Emmy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I am.
I'm not trying to be rude or anything. It's been a long time. Can you remind me who Emmy is?
Absolutely.
Ava may even ask
no,
that.
that's totally honestly, it would make sense because Emmy has really nothing to do with Ava. This is very much a Ollie backstory character that was brought up and talked about a few times in season 2, honestly. And I think somebody who I said Needles was dealing with for a little while, or saw. So please, Ava maybe even goes, like,
who's Emmy again?
You remember Rudy, right?
Yes.
Rudy had ghouled my father. That's how Rudy felt. This weird fucked up sense of obligation to watch over me because of the events that happened with my parents. Well, he was using his ghoul to watch my mother, who was the ghoul of Emmy.
Okay.
Ava's like not taking notes, but Tracy is.
I am taking notes. I'm like, okay, like making a little flow chart here. Of who's ghoul too.
Please do.
And some thing led to another, and then I was born.
I see.
They hooked up. It was beautiful for a while, or it wasn't. Rudy wasn't giving my dad enough blood, and he lost it. The addict in him lost it. He pushed my mom out of a window.
Shit.
Yeah. But it was some power play. Rudy wanted to watch over what Emmy was doing. The best way to do that was to watch her ghoul. And that's where the whole thing came up about me being different. Not like your average. Because when ghouls hook up, they're supposed to have, the supercharge. They get a little extra something, right, from us. Well, what happens when there's a product of that relationship? It's also a little supercharged, a little extra, which is why Rowan mattered, because he was the product of that as well.
And now, this Emmy, have you heard from her?
No, I've never even seen her, but I know that she's wanted. Everybody on the Ventrue board. They want to see her dead.
I think I remember hearing that. Yes.
In case,
I
she made a failed play at Princeton.
Yes.
Back when the chaos was originally happening with Max and Snitch and all that stuff. And her failure was caught early and by the Ventrue, and the Ventrue were going to have her killed, and she escaped basically and went into exile hiding.
Emmy stands out from the rest of the Kindred because she's like an 8 or 9 year old Kindred.
It's very illegal.
Frightening.
Yeah. She's not wired right. She's prone to fits. She's a bit manic from what I've been told. I don't really know. I've never met her, but.
How long has she been in Chicago?
At the very least, a little over 100 years minimum.
She's been here as long as Vanessa has.
Oh my gosh. It's kind of scary.
Interesting.
And she's
been
not
here as long
really,
as Snitch has.
And she's just not. We've never seen her. We've heard of her. She's just living here somewhere.
And all he would know is because if she poked her head out once, the Ventrue board would
she'd be dead.
Come right off.
It's scary where she could be. Who knows?
Though a good leveraging chip for us if we could get our hands on her.
So what is Genghis? How does he know Emmy? Or he sent a message from her.
He didn't know who she was. Just a goon, apparently. He was probably paid.
I mean, rumors have been abound ever since you learned of Emmy that she's been hiding out in Anarch territory, but that makes, that's very common. That makes sense.
Also, Where the fuck is Genghis getting all this money from?
Yeah, he's quite the investor.
He's a banker.
Hmm.
And by banker, I mean he's just a deadhead biker.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's getting any of his bankroll.
Maybe we should find that
Something's-
out.
Yeah, something's not right there. So
If we can
Might be
find out who's
something.
backing him, we now know who has interest in the Anarchs. rising.
Anarchs. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's. Oh, I don't know. I don't know how many Anarchs are left, really, but.
And we're sure
I
he's
don't
not
s-
independently wealthy.
Yeah, he doesn't.
You have no idea.
Yeah, he doesn't look like it, but then again, I don't know.
You got to bump a lot of elbows to get up enough money to buy a hospital. I know, I haven't even bought one myself yet. Not that it's saying much. The hospital's pretty much ramshackled. There's not a whole lot left. Lights are barely on. They flicker in most rooms.
Well, it's something
But,
worth
do
looking
some
into.
digging. Yeah, that might be
Yeah.
worth putting our ear to the ground.
Why the fuck is everyone watching us?
I don't. Because we're the loud ones, I guess.
We've been real quiet.
We
real
have been.
quiet.
I know, but it doesn't matter anymore.
Well,
How the fuck can
Maybe
anybody
that-
get a hobby? They're so bored.
And maybe that question does linger on the minds for a little while of like, why? And the answer, as maybe you mull about, is unfortunately, as far as you can tell, as simple as you have power now. You are seen entities. No matter how quiet you are, your names are known. People know of you, rumors of your actions, of what you've done. You have sway. You could pull strings and people dance. People know you now. You've been making waves in Chicago for close to 15 years in game. That's hard. It's like sometimes it's hard to remember, but like, yeah, you guys have been around in Chicago for 15 years during its most tumultuous time for Kindred.
maybe we've been too quiet.
Maybe we start being loud again.
Well, the next person that steps onto my door and says they know exactly what I'm going to be doing with the next X amount of years, or they try to step on my toes, I'm probably going to pop them.
Okay, well, you know, maybe that's not the best way.
As long as it's not in the
It'll
lights out
uphold
pub.
your Godfather personality.
I'm getting threatened by pawn shop brokers.
She just has a small thing. She doesn't know.
She doesn't know you're
She
vampires,
thinks
all
I'm a
right?
16-year-old girl running around with, a man in a suit and a very pretty lady who are funding an operation in which I, manhunt people?
Dude, I'm like, I see that picture now of like Ollie and Ava with a 16-year-old redhead with
yeah.
dreadlocks, and it's just like Annie gone wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all I see.
Actually, yes.
It's just like-
a
she's
little
probably
protective.
so.
Look, there aren't very many
Yeah.
people in this world that want to protect me at all, except for maybe you and that pawn shop lady. So you know what? I let her. It helps her sleep at night, I guess.
In the last 14 hours, the woman who abducted my son turned him against me, threatened my life, your lives, and everyone else that I even have remote care for. The woman who manipulated my mother, which led to my birth, has decided to pop in and say that she likes what I'm doing here. And Genghis has now a chip on his shoulder. He's declaratively trying to make a statement for the Anarchs, and he wants to buy some of my property. I wish I could be his chipper, ladies. I really do, but some things are just not adding up.
Or maybe
So if I
they're
have to get a
actually
little
finally
loud.
adding up.
If I have to get loud, then I'll get loud.
You know,
I see no issue with this.
if we know there are eyes on us and people are watching us, which seems to be the one thing we can take away from the last 24 hours, maybe it is time for us to start feeding some misinformation.
I do think we need to do something before we get one more visit with some sort of big news. So
This Ava's
yes,
specialty as a toreador, spreading rumors and misinformation amongst the rose garden. This old hat.
it is a thought. Something I could help with.
Maybe it's time for us to have another party at the theater. Another Kindred gathering. Perfect place for you to spread your rumors. Get out some information of what we are up to so that people don't actually know what the fuck we're up to.
But what rumor would we want to spread is the question. What are we up to?
I mean, you said it yourself. The loud ones have been quiet for 2 years. Is that not also like that could just be a red flag for people because you were loud for 10 years?
No, we're not. You know, maybe it's time to flex a little bit. Be loud again, give them their expectations so that we can work in some silence on what we really need to be doing.
Yes, but what could we announce? What's something big enough that would distract people?
Are you and Nero going steady yet?
I was just thinking of something like that, but we're not quite there yet. No. He's very quiet and doesn't really. But oh God, no, never mind. I was like, Brett. No.
I mean,
no.
Brett is always an optional tool.
I mean, we were wanting to know what Brett was up to. Getting involved with Brett's shenanigans, or at least as a front, is a great way to keep them out of our real business. Who's the loudest person in town but us?
Brett Stryker. He did want me to meet somebody in a couple of days.
Maybe you take the meeting.
Yes.
See who.
You cut out again, Dakota.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Darling.
For those asking who's the person asking who's Brett, he's Banana Hammock.
Brett Stryker. He's
Stryker.
Toreador, yeah.
Toreador Chad.
Yeah, Toreador Chad is
dog.
perfect. Yeah, Toreador Hound Dog. I'm just saying, if we get in on Brett's little shenanigans, we'll learn about what we need to learn about and maybe give some fodder to those following us. Bit of a misdirection while we get our rest of our stuff together. Because the last thing I need are people up my ass while I'm trying to collect these thin bloods and get them on Jackson's side.
This is true. Well, that's an idea.
You're quiet and it's making me nervous.
He's thinking. He's in thought. I can tell.
He's trying to piece something together.
Yes.
Why don't we let it out to the venture that Emmy's back? And Emmy's making moves.
Not a bad thing. Something maybe if you come to the party, you could tell them about. You're going to come to the party, right?
Yes, but
yeah,
it's not just saying she's back. If we just had a little bit of info, Ventrue I don't think they would be happy just knowing she's back. If we had something that could give us an idea of where she might be or who she might be working with.
She's working with Genghis, an Anarch that's trying to buy a hospital on the territory of Camarilla Anarch lines.
You're right. That's a new piece of information.
I mean, if we start telling people that and then Genghis finds out, he's
Who gives
not
a
going to be
fuck
happy.
about Genghis? What a
That's
prick.
also not going to be quiet.
We'll make enemies. I mean, we've always had enemies with the Anarchs.
Look,
but
there's a reason that we were given the piece of territory on this line. If he wants to duke it out, he can come to the train yard and duke it out like everybody else.
Isn't it the Anarchs the only people who broke the rules in Ollie's pub that one time? That didn't they break a fight out in the Lights Out bar?
Yeah. The Baron of Brighton Park.
Brighton Park.
Came in cocky as shit,
just saying.
Started throwing hands.
Do we really want to go? I mean, do we really want to go down that route again with the Anarchs?
Look, listen, they're going to find out either way. Camarilla's going to know when a property as large as a hospital is going to get bought by an Anarch.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. How do you think I met Genghis? Jackson told me about him.
You did a deal for Jackson with him for money, for guns.
For guns.
Guns and info swap, basically.
But this is good. If we give the first notice to the Camarilla, to the Ventrue, that he's buying the territory, and he's got at least somewhat of a connection with Emmy, it'll get their eyes on them, off of us. And, may at least give everybody a surefire understanding that we are still on Camarilla's side.
Bad idea. I like
Anything
it.
to avert their eyes off of us for a while. Or at least a few eyes off of us.
That's the latest talk, then. Yeah.
So, party? Let's plan a party?
Yes, which venture do we know besides Jackson, of course? What's his name? Who's our investor?
Oh shit. I gotta.
Ballard?
God, Miss
No, Ballard's
No,
my investor.
Mr. something.
The
Wasn't it like
I know who you're talking about. Hang on, I got the
it's
notes.
A? It starts with an A.
Not
Sovereign.
Sovereign. Alan Sovereign.
Alan
Mr.
Sovereign, yeah.
Sovereign. Yes. We could invite Mr. Sovereign.
I think that would be a good idea. Show him how far his investment has gone, and then maybe by then, Ava, maybe we could hold auditions or whatever you do for jobs.
Interviews, yes.
Yeah. Interviews. We can hold interviews. Get some fresh faces and.
Would you like to be part of the interview panel, Dakota, to interview these people for jobs?
Ballard's gonna want to know this. Emmy put a hit out on his life. She tried to kill Ballard.
So you think we should do it sooner rather than later?
I think he'd be chomping at the bit at this, and that's to say a lot. When you meet the guy, you'll see what I mean.
Oh, I've met Ballard,
roughly the size of a smart car.
Yeah, he's a real fine dude. Yeah. I mean, we could go ahead and just spill the beans. Each of us could go to our respective channels. I could hit Jackson. Ava could start on the Toreador. And you could go hit Ballard and let him work his way through the Ventru.
It's going to take some movement to get to Ballard. He does not see anybody for shit. But I bet this is one of those things that he would probably open a door to.
I also have something I might want to speak to Jackson about, but I need to do a little footwork first. I wonder if McTavish would come off any information. I sure love bugging him.
We do still have to bug him about other things too, but I guess that can wait for now.
Well, I was thinking maybe one kid and caboodle.
There might be a bit of a problem with that though, right? Like, McTavish isn't a stupid guy. If we keep going to him and we start telling him about all these things, it's going to look like we're just dumping our garbage on him, right?
I was actually thinking he might come off of I give some Layla information. He gives some information on this new Bruja who's turned up with a bunch of money. You think McTavish isn't being funded by him too? I bet McTavish knows where Anarch money's coming from.
Perhaps he does. As long as you give him something, I'm sure he'll give something back.
You know who else probably knows where Anarch money's coming from?
Jackson. We just bought guns.
Oh, there we go.
Wait.
We just bought guns.
So you think Jackson's funding the whole Anarch front?
What? No.
I think Jackson just had me organize a deal with Genghis of the Anarchs to get a lot of unmarked guns.
Oh,
some ghost
shit.
Guns.
Yes.
Jackson wants the Anarchs to gain some momentum
so
that they can start a fucking war with the Camarilla, and it's easier for him to sit on the throne when it's all done.
Well, why do you think that they're going to be hitting?
That makes sense.
Think about what they're going to be hitting.
Yeah. Why start your own coup when you can pay other people to do it?
Yes, of course. That is so Jackson.
All right.
Sometimes I hate being right.
See, Ollie was thinking, and
he was just like moving the pieces around. He's like, "Where does this connect? Where does this connect?"
I knew I could trust you, Ollie. I knew you.
Yeah, it's right in episode 1.
Yeah.
So if Jackson is fronting the money, which is fine, the question is, how would he feel? Because it's Jackson's friend who's invested in this neighborhood.
Jackson made it very clear that he's not a fan of Emmy.
Of course not.
He may not particularly be a fan of Ballard, but I know that he wasn't a fan of Emmy either.
And Genghis wasn't his friend necessarily. You don't even know if he's met the man. He just knows who he was, and he had a deal set up with him, and he sent Ollie to take care of it.
I think the better option is let me talk to Jackson and get a better understanding of what he wants from them. If I can find out how he's trying to manipulate them with money, then we could maybe have a decent conversation about sharing some space, investing with them, helping feed the fire that Jackson is growing. And if we have this nice, distraction so people aren't looking into it, then nobody will be none the wiser.
Okay.
It's a good idea.
All right. Let's summarize this meeting we just had. I need the notes on what we want to go through with and what we don't want to go through with. Do we want to still spread rumors?
Yes.
To get things not
think you
focus on
need-
us.
You might need to hang on the fact that Emmy's a bit more involved, because if we just bark up Jackson's door and we say that there's an Anarch that's trying to buy a hospital, there's no way that Jackson doesn't already know that. There's an approval process. I didn't just get to buy out the block because I was friends with everyone. There were channels that I had to go down, papers I had to sign, not just with the
Yes.
living. I had to sign with the unliving too. They all know.
You know, I was thinking. He wants us to partner on... He can't necessarily invest in our territory, but you know what we do have that would benefit his hospital and is only a few blocks away. A morgue. I'd be happy to take his money, Jackson's money, off his hands and let him run through our morgue.
It's tricky. We really don't have a good read on Genghis yet. I really don't want to give him a link to too many of our assets. He knows where we're at, though. He knows exactly how to find us.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that
Not
doesn't seem
hard.
to be anybody's problem now.
No.
All right,
Yeah.
I say we still host the party. We need to make it loud if we're going to be loud, you know what I mean? A distraction's got to be big. So I say we start seeding rumors as fast as we can.
Okay.
We need to hit the right people with Layla, the right people with Emmy, and maybe get ahead on this Anarch movement that's coming through and better understand what Jackson's actually trying to do here.
So do we want to try to talk to Jackson first before all of this, or do we want to just move forward with it?
No, I think I've got the clear to talk to Ballard. Ballard's going to want to know.
Yeah. Let's get on the good side of Ballard. Maybe, Ava, you can start the process of getting our guest lists and letting people know we're going to have another party.
Yes,
I
I can
was-
work on that.
Maybe thinking I could go to Damien and see if they would want to play at the party and see if he knew where we could find Jackson.
Ava smirks at that. Yes, maybe you should do that. I think
Yeah.
you should go talk to Damien. Just, let him know that.
Sucks. I'm so good at that.
Yeah.
That being said, and you can go ahead and hit up Ballard now.
It might take a couple of days. I can put a line out. I can at the very least reach out to Archie. Archie's got a direct line up the chain.
Let's not forget an invitation to our dear prince and her council, Ava.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure she'll show up. I'll be polite and send the invite. Maybe Rhonda will show up.
She may. She likely will. She's Harpy.
I was about to say,
Yep.
she showed up last time, right?
Yeah, she
I think
did. She had a good time.
yes. Yeah. I'll prepare the guest list.
So as we watch our coterie lay their final plans into their notebook, time speeds on by. The night is about to close, and we see the three of them scatter for the evening, each headed to their individual homes. When our camera cuts, we pan back to the ivory tower. Ava walks on in through the front doors, and at the desk is a familiar face. She
Mhm.
smiles at you. Hey, Miss Heloise, it's excellent to see you. Another night here then?
Yes, of course.
And is there anything I can take care of or send to your room or send to your apartment this evening?
I do need to send some invites out to the prince and any of the other council members. Katie,
How
darling.
dare you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? I was going to. God damn it! Because I saw the look on her face, and I know Tracy.
I've got Tracy. I knew it. I saw it too, and I was like, I got your back, Tracy. I got your back.
I was pulling up the sheet looking
Yeah, of course
through my
you
notes.
were.
I was like, oh shit, what the fuck's her name?
Yeah, I knew it.
Katie, darling. I need to send out some invites to some folks here in the tower, the Ivory Tower, to invite them to an event.
Another
Perhaps
event at the theater.
yes. Another
quaint.
party, music, drinks, everything. So if you wouldn't mind extending some invites.
Of course, I'll take care of that for you, Miss Heloise. She just dabs the pen on her tongue and finishes writing what she's going to. Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all for me, Katie. Thank you.
It's great to see you, Miss Eloise.
You as well.
And we hear the clacking of heels on that pristine tile floor as you stride past her in confidence. And just as you're about halfway to the elevator, you hear Katie's voice again. Oh, Miss Eloise, I nearly forgot. And she spins in her chair. Before you go to bed tonight, our dear Mistress Bella would love to see you.
You're kind of hyperventilating. Okay, the first one of the season. Of course. I will make my way to her.
Excellent. I'll let her know. And you see her reach for the phone, put it to her ear. She presses a couple of buttons, and you hear some muted noises as the elevator dings. The double golden doors roll open. And as you step inside and hit the top floor, the elevator lurches. But we cut there. Our camera then sits on top of the lights out pub. With a blink, we're on the inside, and we can hear Grant in the background with the radio blaring, playing some Led Zeppelin, cleaning up what dirty dishes still remain. As the door opens and Ollie steps in, you hear all of the noise in the background, and as you maybe even walk a few steps, Grant sees you and quickly lowers the radio. Hey, boss, how's it going?
It's been another day, Grant.
That seems to be a much more common occurrence lately, boss. I'm not particularly thrilled with it. Do I need my shotgun?
I don't know. Let's just hope that this is a fad, not a trend.
All right, I'm grabbing my shotgun. And he puts down the sponge, and he pulls off the latex gloves, and he walks out front and pulls the shotgun out and lays it on the table. Are they what are we expecting? Are we expecting that girl that was here last time? Are we expecting ghouls? Like, that's what we're called, right? Yeah, ghouls.
There's just a lot of people these days that think that the loud one's gone soft.
Man, then they ain't been paying attention.
No, they haven't. I don't know what to expect, but it's never dull, especially with you in my life, Grant. I will say that you are one brilliant, shining, if bit off color, brilliant, shining light in my life.
We just called that character.
Yeah, you got it in spades, my friend.
Yeah. 1 second, I got something for you. I stored it downstairs. Hang on. And he quickly unties his apron and bundles it into a ball before he hucks it through the window where the food gets put up into the back.
He's running. I'm like, it's not even my birthday.
Yeah. Shut your mouth. And the door opens and slides shut, and you hear the footsteps all the way down the stairs. You take a moment, look around, and the place is well cleaned. Already did a fantastic job. And looking at the till, looks like you made a good chunk of cash today. Maybe taking off your jacket as you're about to hang it up. There is on the front door.
It's open.
The door handle turns and swings open. Standing in the doorway in the frame is not somebody you expected. Layla. Sorry for the impromptu second visit, may I?
We were just about to close up. But come on in. Can I interest you in a drink?
No drink right now. But, our conversation from earlier just stuck in my mind. Your insistence that you are more than what I see you as. The truth of it, a monster, a parasite, something needs to be stomped out. But you, more than anyone I've ever dealt with, held on to this persistence of your tainted honor. And you held to your word. You didn't attack me. I am partially surprised, if I'm honest, but a good deed deserves a good deed. And I told you were lied to. I meant it. I wasn't making this up. That old woman, she wasn't even a person. Do you even know that? When I put a bullet in her head, a body didn't fall. Sticks, dirts, and leaves did.
What do you mean?
Exactly. Definitely got me by surprise, too. I was very confused. I wasn't sure if this was something that you blank bodies did or whatnot. So, I did a little digging. Took me a few years. Was able to find tidbits here and there. Eventually led me to Madison. And, 1 + 1 = 2. But enough words. She steps out of the way and makes a gentle gesture with a very reassuring kind of soft face. And a figure passes through the door with a single step into the bar. The door, Layla walks over to and closes it. Now, she looks to you, Ollie. Just be gentle with this one. She's still a little confused. I'm working on helping her out, though. I want you to meet Ida.
That's not the woman that I met.
No, what you see before you is a young woman in her 30s, a long sundress that looks like it's straight out of the 1960s. Her hair is in a tight bun, and if you look long enough, you can see remnants, a familiar face, just without the wrinkles in the eye patch.
Do I know you?
She has wide eyes as she looks around. Dot. You don't know when it is. Nothing in Chicago looks the same. You don't know how much time has passed. What you do remember is seeing somebody who claimed to be you with other people dealing and making deals and signing papers with your captor, the one who tortured and played and used you, the one who stole your baby from you, kept it for himself. Something had been signed, and in the blink of an eye, you found yourself in the middle of the woods. You spent days, weeks, and months trying to find your way out of these woods that only got thicker and more difficult to pass through. It would rip and tear at your skin, thorns poking from all sides. You swear you would see creatures peering out at you from within the bush, things watching and stalking you. But you did what you had to survive. Only 2 nights ago, did you squeeze through a small entrance, as you do almost every night, walking through the bramble and trees. But this time, as you squeezed through and the thorns teared at you, when you took a step on the other side, you stumbled and fell. And when you picked yourself up to look around, you could see Chicago's skyline in the distance. After walking for a few hours, the car pulled up, and the woman who's standing there now was inside. She knew your name, not much more, but was willing to help. She brought you here. You don't know why. You don't even know who this man is. Simply that this woman who called herself Layla had to make a stop on the way. And now you stand before her, or before this man, at an utter loss for words and understanding. For this woman, you might as well be in a sci-fi universe. The 50s and the 2020s are not remotely similar. You don't have to say anything right now.
Good. I don't know what I'd say.
And Layla looks to you. This is the woman you thought you gave Rowan to. She herself has been trapped, or I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't figured it out. But she's confused and she's lost. And you take care of the confused and lost. I'm not leaving her here. I want you to come with me. You say you want to help this city, that you're not a parasite, that you're here to help the people and help people that need it most. Well, then, here's your opportunity to prove it. Come with me. No getting your things, no telling anybody. Let's do good together. In our boy's name.
What are you going to do with her?
I'm going to help her. I mean it.
How are you going to help her with us?
Well, I'm not worried about you. I need to help her get back on her feet. I need to help her understand what's happened to her. And I don't know nearly as much as I need to. But you ran with a boy named Matthew at some point. You may be able to help her more than I can.
I'm sorry, Matthew died.
Unfortunate. Which means you're the only one who knows what he knew.
Look, I can try to tell you what I know. And you're going to have to come at it with an open mind.
I am currently speaking with somebody who has no soul. A corpse that walks the streets and drinks the blood of those who don't deserve it. I have an open mind. So you coming?
I will.
Good.
But you have to start calling me Ollie.
You got it, Ollie.
Quit calling me a monster. And I'll call you Layla. And all of the things that are brewing around my head, too.
We might have made a good team at one point. Let's see if we can salvage what's left of that.
Ma'am, looking down at the younger woman, am I to presume that your name is Ida?
I actually imagine while the both of you are having this conversation in her shell-shocked state, there is something in Ollie's bar, the only things that she has returned that is at all familiar, which is an old jukebox. She would know a jukebox anywhere. And I imagine just her feet kind of take her over to it, and you kind of catch her scrolling through the jukebox looking at songs that there's something to hang on to there. There's like a piece of light in her eyes because this she knows. This is her. And she probably picks a song like, what would be right for her? Oh, like Preacher's Son or something that's very Ida of the time, and it kind of kicks on in the background, and she turns to nod to you. Yes, her name is Ida.
I don't claim to know what happened to you, and I might be one of the few people that might be able to help you. And I don't like that woman that brought you here, but I'm going to go with her. Because I think that you need help. Is that okay? Will you let me help you?
She nods. I imagine yes. That there's no hesitation there. What is she gonna do? And she'll walk back over now with the familiar music in the air that helps alleviate some of her stresses.
I know my face looks kind of strange. And it's because I have something on my face that I have to hide.
She doesn't even, she stops you. Like, she probably puts a hand up, and she, if you'll allow her, she kind of touches the prosthetic piece, and then she touches her own eye patch to let you know it's okay. She, too, has to cover who she is. She has lost something.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
You are an honorable one. As honorable as a blank body can be. Ida, let's head back to the car. Let's get you something to drink.
She nods.
We'll find you a nice, comfortable place to spend the night. You'll be okay.
Look to Layla. you have cash?
And she nods. In the back seat, Ollie.
He grabs his jacket.
And no funny shit.
I'm a jokester by nature. It's bound to be a little funny, Layla.
And we see the three of them slowly walk out the front door. Our camera lingers on the inside, and as the front door shuts, we see a car silently roll off through the windows. The door to the basement swings open. All right, I got the... Boss? And camera will slowly pull back with Grant's confusion. And we'll pick up next week with a brand new episode of SOS. Because Ava has a very important meeting to attend to. We got to go do an after show, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We're going to go around the room. People let you know where they can find each other. And we're going to go record an after show that you can find on Patreon. The $5 tier gets you the audio version. The $10 tier will get you the video version. And it'll be up, I imagine, relatively soon after it hits YouTube or something, somewhere around there.
Yeah, we try really hard to get it to the Patreon quickly. I'm a little behind, but
Yeah.
you know, it's not like the tabletop industry's burning this week, everybody.
Shit was exploding. So we'll start with the one and only Miss Magitech. Where can we find you? What do you do?
Hello, everybody. I am Tracy, also known as Miss Magitech on the internet. So you can find me on all of the social platforms at Miss Magitech, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I make fun cosplay stuff on TikTok nowadays. And then on Twitch, you can find me at MagiRPG in chat. Hey, thanks for all those sub gifts.
Oh, God, yeah. Thank you for more gift subs. How many subs
Thanks,
do we have
guys.
now? God damn.
Hey, no complaints. We love them.
Oh, I know. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Shower
Thank you,
us.
everybody. Thanks so much. So yeah, that's where you can find me if I'm not here on Saturdays. So that's it for me.
Fantastic. Bub, we're going to be missing you for 3 or 4 weeks. I'm very excited to get together with you and brainstorm what exactly has been going on. But in the meantime, where can people find you otherwise?
Man, you guys can find me everywhere as Bub Talks on Twitter, Instagram, all that jazz. Instagram's been a little quiet, but I imagine with the coming weeks that it's going to get a lot more noisy. I'm going to be bound to a bed most of the time. Still have to walk around and do some things. So, prevent blood clots and all that jazz. But I've been working diligently to get up to this point. Going through major surgery, guys. It's a skin reduction surgery from all my weight loss. I'm 305 pounds down. So
congratulations, Bub.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
awesome,
very
man. The work you put in, it's crazy to see. Just even looking at you from episode 1 of just around the corner to now.
Yeah. It's amazing.
You don't look the same at all. You look
Absolutely
incredible.
amazing.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that.
You deserve all the praise for that. That takes so much willpower.
Yeah.
And it has, but I've spent most of my patience and willpower here trying not to lose my mind with this particular game because man, it's so good and it tugs on all of the emotional strings.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. I'm so glad that we're back doing this, and it makes me sad that I have to be gone for like 3, 4, maybe even 5 weeks, and I don't want to, but hey, we're here now. And
we'll be here when you're ready,
recover.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll be here when you get back.
There's
time.
And Ava and Dakota will try really hard not to explode anything while you're gone.
We'll be our best.
You guys are gonna have to
around, hopefully, man.
We'll have
you guys are gonna have to
keep
look
us in
after,
check.
right? Like I've given Mathis
I gotta
a
take care
You gave me a
Grant.
list of things.
I gotta
whole
take
list
care
of
of
things.
Grant.
You guys get to be little baby mobsters while Ollie's gone.
Oh boy.
Well, last but not least, Miss Little Red Dot, who
Hi,
has been
friends.
dealing with an imploding industry the past week.
So be patient with Dot. I am behind on a few things, but we're getting there, everybody. I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me where Little Red Dots are found. Ida explosion just fucking blew my mind. I'll talk about that in the after show.
I can't wait
I
to
feel
talk
like
about
there
it in
was
the after
something
show.
that I wanted to mention. Oh, hey everybody, if you come back next week, in lieu of Ava's meeting with the sandwich, I have officially uploaded our sandwich emote. There will be a sandwich emote approved by next week,
Yes!
hopefully, so we can flood chat with
Perfect.
sandwiches while Tracy panics.
Excellent.
Perfect.
And Mathis, I just want to know, because y'all go find me where Little Red Dots are found.
Sure.
You know I'm over here all the
Same
time.
thing.
What
You can find me
did
at
you
Mathis.
use our shadow bar on?
Well, Genghis showing up. was one
Whoa,
of
okay.
them.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling. His showing up was
He's irking the shadow bar is like an irk of the Anarchs moving in to try to punch up.
Yeah,
and-
every
It's-
time. Every time.
It's a Saito and Anarch tool in the moment where it's great to have it show up. On the second one, because this ending, this little end with Layla, I already had planned, spoilers, it's not the shadow bar, was the Emmy message.
Which
okay,
very
okay.
clearly threw Bub and Ollie for a loop. So I'm sure we'll
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about that in the after show too. All right, everybody. That's me, Mathis. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at Mathis. I do a podcast called Illuminati Pod. Look it up. We're everywhere. And if you go to my YouTube channel, other than that, I do heavily edited gameplay videos a couple times a month. I just did a Dwarf Fortress one, which took me a million years to edit. God damn. I took like 5 hours, edited down into like a 15-minute episode, and it was just making that game interesting to watch is a challenge. But it's a great game. Other than that, you find me here every friggin' Saturday or on Pod by Night every Friday, which we are recording that on Tuesday.
Yeah, so you can come back Tuesday. And Bub is joining us for that one. That'll be the last recording set with Bub. So come on by.
Come back
we'll get
on Tuesday.
2 more with Bub before
get your last Bub
before
in.
Duke is also going to take a hiatus.
I know, yeah. Duke's got to step away.
That one's just as interesting, guys. You're not going to want to miss that.
Oh boy.
All right, everybody. We're off to do the after show. We love you.
Yep. Bye everybody.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.